And I'm back with some more boxing. Do the ego boxer pose. Yeah, I just want to talk to y'all, man. Make sure y'all come in, leave a comment, smash the like button. The usual on this side. Harlem Future, what up, though? Where my boxing fans at? People, where y'all at? I just want to talk about something. Shout out to Bogart Skrilla. He said he in the building. Fresh Preezy, what's good? Bob J, what's good? Yo, make sure y'all like this. Y'all know the routine, man. Been following you for a minute. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ego Army. Man, we working. We just about to talk about this boxing. See, like, I'm trying to bring it back to the old school, man, where we just sit up there, chop it up, debate, you know what I'm saying? We don't gotta mention other people, things like that. We just do us. Our own little community. Already one dislike. What the fuck? See, that's what I'm saying. Let the haters come. The hate don't stop nothing. But most of the time, the haters are broke, miserable people who ain't got shit going. I look at. I'm not even joking. Like 99.8, like temperatures of the human body, 90, 98.6 and shit of the people I block. They never have any uploads. They never have any subscribers. And that's just what it is. Just miserable people. The only thing they can do is dick ride what somebody else is doing, comment on somebody else's opinions, but they're not man or woman enough to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying it takes guts and glory. I'm not trying to build up YouTube and like that. But what I mean is just show face. Put your thoughts out there. If you know so much about boxing and I don't, shit, you do it. Get you a little following and roll with it. Sammy said, what's good, bro? Fuck the haters. You already know, man. Shout out to Hector. He says, what's up? Let's talk boxing, bro. Oh, we're going to talk boxing. They don't call me ego or boxing ego for nothing. We're going to talk about it. There's a lot to talk about. Like what you were doing. Keep up the great work in boxing. Thank you. Man, I haven't been this excited for a heavyweight fight in a while. I really don't remember. Actually, Joshua Klitschko. That would probably be the last time. But I think I'm even more excited. You know, I think I'm not. Okay, listen to what I say. I think I'm more excited for this because I know the implications of both of the fighters. With Joshua versus Klitschko, Klitschko was coming off a year plus layoff and he looked like shit versus Tyson Fury. And normally we've seen, like, or at least in his most recent performance, we've seen an apprehensive, hesitant Klitschko. So listen to me carefully. The fight was great when it happened, but it was, to me, it was more of a pleasant surprise. Again, I was looking forward to it, looking forward to 90,000 people in one venue and stuff like that. But I was in for a treat. You know what I mean? That was the one of the fights where I'm like, I didn't know what to expect because I made a mistake into thinking the Tyson Fury Klitschko fight was going to be all that. I thought it was going to be a great action fight, maybe some knockdown. You know what I mean? And we didn't get none of that. So Joshua Klitschko turned out to be a very. It was actually my fight of the year. That was my favorite fight for the year. So I'm not knocking it, but to me, it was more of a pleasant surprise. I didn't know what version of Klitschko was going to show up, and I didn't know it'd be all those thrills and action. But with Luis Ortiz Wilder, I promise you, somebody at the very least is getting knocked down, most likely knocked out. I mean, I've said it before, like, I've been wrong. Like, Matisse Provodnikov, I could have swore someone would at least get knocked down, and nobody got knocked down or knocked out. So it's boxing, you never know, but I really don't see it. I see someone getting stretched, or at the very least knocked down. At the very least. That's just my honest opinion, my honest assessment. Shout out to both for taking this fight. And we're gonna get into it, man. Um, let's get the roll call out of the way. My bad. Let's do the roll call. I just like to know where y'all at, where y'all from, city, state, zip. Bang, where you from? Ego Army, stand up. Ego Mafia, I told you we are the mob. Money on top of boxing. Let's get this money and let's get to this boxing. That's all. That's 2018. That's what we about. Money and boxing. Um, BX in the building. Detroit, yeah. ATL, Harrisburg, PA. Shout out to Fresno. Charlotte, North Carolina, Tallahassee, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Cali, New York, Chicago, Illinois, VI, I don't know what VI is, North Hollywood, Detroit, Strong Branch, New Jersey. Jersey ain't got no fights in a while. They used to have a lot of fights in New Jersey, boxing wise. Florida, Lakewood Ranch, Houston, Texas, 7-1, Tree, England. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to UK. Dallas, Sin City, Please Believe It, Kentucky, Poughkeepsie, New York, Beaumont, Big Money, Texas, Guatemala, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Bmore, DMV, Virgin Islands, T-Town, Bama. Let's get it, man. I'll try to do another roll call at the end. Laredo, Mexico, man. I see you. I told you, Ego Army, we worldwide with it. Guatemala, Canelo's hometown, Guadalajara, Naptown. Ego, you got a New York type of vibe. I get that a lot. I don't know. I used to live someday. I never lived in New York. Actually, I never even really been to New York until I think it was the Triple G Jacobs fight. But my dad was in the military, so we traveled. I lived in England and all types of stuff. Shout out to Birmingham, Alabama, Magic City. Let's get into this chat. Now, listen, fuck the haters. Everybody put your middle fingers up, middle fingers to the ceiling. Fuck the haters. Everybody say it with me. Fuck the haters. That's the other shit we on. Eagles Army, we just getting bigger. We just getting stronger, baby. And we worldwide. They can't stop us. They can't stop us. So everybody put your middle fingers to the sky. Now, the reason I said that is this, is I'm really checking for the people who have all of this stuff to say about Showtime boxing, PBC's not cutting it, they ran out of budget, they're putting on cherry-picked mismatches. Where are those people? I remember you. I remember 2 and 3 years, you know what I mean, when Keith Thurman was fighting Luis Collazo. And even though that's the fight where he's been hurt more than any other fight, they were mad. Oh, it's a cherry pick. Obviously wasn't that much of a cherry pick because Collazo, bam! Shout out to my dude Collazo. Bang! Hit him with that body shot and had Keith like, oh. He was running like he had a house party, about to run to the bathroom, throw up and yak. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't much. But the point being, what happened to those people? What happened? What happened to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to the changing of the guard and the changing of the ties. What HBO boxing, listen, this is not Bloods and Crips where I'm just like, you know what I'm saying, repping sets. I'm from Cali where they got gangs, but I don't gang bang, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I call it what I see. And then to me, it's like, what is HBO really doing? I'm not talking about no Game of Thrones, Ballers, and, you know what I mean, All Eyes on Me movie. I'm talking about for boxing, they've been slipping. Their programming, their budget, their commentary. Okay, Jim. You know what I'm saying? It's been slipping. Like, this is how you know Showtime is doing their thing at the very least. They had an anticipated fight between Jamal Charlo and Hugo Centeno that got removed from this card. Not Charlo's fault. Centeno got injured, so I mean technically not even his fault if his injury is legit, right? It got removed from the card, and guess what? This is still a good card. The main event is still popping, right? And you still got Andre Dirrell rematching Jose Uzcategui, which was a good fight, well, as long as it lasted, and it ended in an untraditional way. With my dude, shout out to my dude, he just turned pro. He just got his second victory as a pro. Leon Lawson the third. Check out my interviews with him. I got some more dropping on the channel, some more parts of our interview. He was training in the Virgil Hunter gym. But anyway, his dad punched Uzcategui because he was pissed because Dirrell got hit late, and that's family, right? But anyway, that's a good rematch that needs to happen so we can have a more traditional outcome. So even with Charlo Hugo Centeno Jr. no longer on this card, I still think it's still a good card just off of those two fights. You know what I mean? Darrell Uzcategui 2, and then obviously the main event Wilder Ortiz. So once again, I'm gonna ask y'all, what happened? What happened to all the people? You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's no. I waited for this moment because time reveals all. That's how anything in life. If you give it enough time, what's done in the dark comes to light. It was a matter of time for some of these dudes because they didn't treat boxing fair. You know what I'm saying? They weren't really doing what's right for the sport. You could tell they were clear, like biases and saying stuff. Oh, PBC. They didn't even want to give PBC a chance. You know what I'm saying? From the gates. But shout out to Steven Espinoza. Shout out to Showtime Boxing. They've been getting it right. I will say. I mean, y'all can bring up viewership and but Kovalev McCall. Can you guys hear me? This YouTube shit has been fucking up, man. This is annoying. Can anybody hear me? So you guys can hear me, but you can't see me. What does it look like? What is on the picture? What do you guys see? Is it a black screen? Is it frozen? Like, what is it? Man, YouTube gotta fix this fucking bullshit, man. I know my streams be popping, but this is like crazy. It's like non-stop. Everybody hold on a second. I'm gonna try to see if I can fix this. Yo, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, see me? Man, YouTube has to get this shit together because they fucking with my numbers now. You know what I mean? Like, we're all here, over 100, almost 200 people. Something one time it was 1,000 people, and then it keeps glitching. I don't know what. I did all the updates. Like, come on, man. Luckily, I have a verified account on YouTube, so I have a little bit of recourse. Like, if your channel's small, you can't contact nobody. You know what I mean? But if you have 100,000 subscribers or more, I think it is, then you're able to request a one-on-one like live chat or some bullshit. But I don't know what's happened. I don't know if the hackers are back. I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know if it's my phone. But I mean, I don't know if it would be my phone because it's not happening. Like, when I'm doing anything else, my phone ain't tripping. I went on Instagram live for an hour. I think that's all you get. And it didn't happen at all. It just keeps happening on YouTube. Man, Google, YouTube, if you're watching this, y'all got to get it together, man. Y'all make way too much money to have broke software. Are you guys here still? Because the comments keep stopping, and like, I don't know if people just aren't writing comments. This is getting weird. Some YouTuber hacking your phone. Listen, that's desperation. If Ego Army is popping that much that people, not only you guys have seen people get blocked, get ejected out the hot seat, and then they come back with 3 and 4 different accounts. So now if somebody's literally trying to hack into or like send some signal or some bullshit to the live stream to get it cock blocked. And y'all got more time on your hands than me. I'm out here grinding, trying to get this money and do right for my family. But anyway, let's get back to this boxing talk. That just threw me off for a minute, so I apologize. Let's see if we can get the likes up, man, because I don't know how. I'm not gonna keep, if it keeps glitching, I'm not gonna keep trying to save it and whatnot. So let's try to get the likes up so we can get the viewership back that we just lost. They trying to hack the Matrix, Ego's army, man. We too real for them. This is what happens. Listen, they got rid of that net neutrality bullshit. They got rid of that net neutrality. Now I'm having all these fucked up things. So thanks a lot, Donald Trump. Anyway, let's get it cracking. What happened to those people? What happened? What happened to all those people who said PBC ain't it and they lost money? Like, what does HBO do? Like, realistically, what main event are you checking for this week? Like, if you have HBO and Showtime and you can only watch one and you got to watch the other one later, Sergey Kovalev versus Igor Mikhelkin or Wilder Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. HBO's co-main event is good, but Sullivan Barrera versus Dimitri Bivol. But even that fight, I was just thinking about this. Even that's a step up for Bivol, who's a new champion. Obviously, Sullivan Barrera is the best name on his resume, and it's a good fight. But it's still Andre Ward already beat Sullivan Barrera, and it's not just about, oh, you have a loss, but you know what I mean. To me, I don't know. It's a good fight, and I think it should have been the main event over Kovalev versus McKelkin. But I guess they're trying to use the Kovalev name, like, oh, he's the more established guy, so he has to be the main event. But the Bivol Barrera fight is the fight that I'm more looking forward to. The co-main event is better than the main event on that particular card. Now, this is what I was trying to think. I was thinking about this last night. Who do you give more, like, not that both guys can't get credit, but let's say Bivol went in there and knocked out Sullivan Barrera in five rounds, right? Would you give him more credit than you gave Andre Ward, who beat the undefeated Sullivan Barrera and knocked him down? Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's a question I have in boxing. Because you could say, oh, Bivol beat him in 5 rounds, and it took Ward 12 rounds on the knockdown, and he went 12 with Ward. But then again, Ward fought Sullivan Barrera when he was undefeated. So it's like, how do you guys rate stuff like that? Same thing with Ricky Hatton. Yeah, Pacquiao beat Ricky Hatton in fewer rounds than Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd beat the undefeated Ricky Hatton. You know what I mean? So it's like, styles make fights. Who do you give more credit to? Or do they both get the 50-50 credit? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for... If Bivol stops Barrera, then yes. Yeah, but the thing is, you got to look at it. He got dropped by Joe. See, that's what I'm saying. Boxing fans, the boxing game is fickle. How do you give Bivol more credit than Ward? And Ward beat an undefeated Sullivan Barrera when he was at max capacity, max confidence-wise. You know what I mean? When since that time, Ward beat him and knocked him down. Joe Smith Jr. knocked him down, but he won that fight. And then he had a war with Shabransky. Well, he got knocked down in the Shabransky fight, and then he knocked Shabransky down 3 times. And now Bivol is getting to him. So you know what I mean? How does he get more credit than Ward, than Dre? That just seems kind of weird to me. But I mean, don't get it twisted. If Bivol can stop Sullivan Barrera, yeah, I mean, you definitely got to give him credit, because that's considered a step up for him. So if he can do that, you know what I mean, then he's passing. But it's just, I don't know. I have certain reserves about that. Give him credit based on how he looked. That's fair. But but what I've seen in boxing is people, oh, Pacquiao knocked out Ricky Hatton in 2 rounds, and Floyd, it took him whatever, 11, 10 or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think you could really do that, because styles make fights, for one. You know what I mean? Floyd has a better defense, so you know what I mean? He's not going to just be out there fighting like Pacquiao fights, like aggressive at all spots. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he beat the undefeated Ricky Hatton. So anyway, that's just something to think about. But anyway, the Showtime detractors, PBC detractors, how's their channels doing? How are their articles doing? I want to know because from what I've seen, Ego's Army is killing. New media is killing. We having fun with the game, enjoying the fights, and like I said, it's not no turf war. Like I still watch HBO. I've covered HBO fights. I've covered every promoter's fights. You know what I mean? Every major promoter, every network, ESPN, HBO, Showtime. It don't none of that matter. But again, I give credit where credit's due, and I think Showtime is for a while now. They've been dropping monster monster schedules, and then HBO doesn't even really respond to it. To be honest, like they don't really say nothing. They don't really have a comeback for it. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I heard I gotta check this out, but I heard Showtime's streaming the Luis Ortiz Wilder fight, which is brilliant because not everyone has Showtime. Some people stream illegally, so if there's a place like Twitter or Showtime's Facebook or Showtime's YouTube where they can stream this fight for you, that'll get Wilder in more American homes and more exposure, especially if it's explosive. Again, I'm not saying Wilder absolutely will beat Ortiz. Ortiz is no pushover, but I'm just saying he's an American. He is the reigning and defending champion. So if he does, then that definitely helps his profile in America, because I was at the fight with Wilder Stavern 2, went crazy. It was lit in the Barclays. Lit. You know what I mean? And then after went crazy. People like World Star, which they sometimes post different things in sports, but I'm telling you, people that I never, pages that I follow, that I never see post anything about boxing unless it's like Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor arguing or some shit, like Baller Alert, the Shade Room, they were all posting the Wilder knockout. So if something big happens and they happen to be doing that stream that I heard about, making it free and eligible for people that don't have Showtime, then that's big, because this is a big heavyweight fight. Like I said, not since Joshua Klitschko have I been personally so excited for a heavyweight matchup. I mean, there's probably been some other cool ones I wanted to see, but this is it, because I know the implications. Luis Ortiz, you gonna have to hurt him. You know what I mean? They both talking about a knockout. They both have power. Hashtag, let's see it. Let's see it. Period. You know what I mean? So we'll see who can produce what they're saying. This will be a big moment if Luis Ortiz wins. He'll be the first Cuban in boxing history to win a heavyweight title. Obviously, Wilder is not looking to lose his belt. What is it called? Sophia or whatever. And then on top of that, he stands to be in bigger fights if he can get past him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Joshua. You know what I mean? There's a lot of big fights, and it just builds his profile. So very, very good heavyweight fight. I'm looking forward to it. I think someone's getting slept. You could possibly see both guys go down. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. I'm picking Wilder. I think Wilder has what it takes to get done, but this is not Spilka. This is not like some of the other guys. Even if you have Luis hurt, you got to have him badly, badly hurt and know it, because he's a good counterpuncher, and he's a Cuban, so he has that Cuban boxing prowess, or whatever you want to call it. So realistically, Wilder's gonna have to be on his P's and Q's. But let's talk about boxing, man. Like in terms of like the actual sweet science and the game of it. And it's so funny to me because a lot of motherfuckers. Who's seen the movie White Man Can't Jump? Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. Anybody seen that movie? It's a classic in my view. Basketball movie. White Man Can't Jump. Anybody seen it? Nobody seen it? Of course. Okay, so people have seen it. Now, if you guys remember the part in the movie where the white character, Woody Harrelson, he has like Jimi Hendrix a cassette tape or something, I think he puts in, and he's like, yeah, I love Jimi Hendrix. And then Wesley Snipes is like, you listen to Jimmy, but you don't hear Jimmy. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? I listen to Jimmy and I like it. And he's like, no, you don't hear Jimmy. You're not here. And they're arguing over like semantics or whatever. Yeah, Rosie Perez. I had a crush on her. After that, he said, "You don't hear Jimmy, right?" So the reason I bring that up is because that's how I feel with a lot of boxing fans. They watch boxing, but they don't watch boxing. Shout out to Sydney Dean. We going to Sizzler. Foods that start with the letter Q. What is a quiche? Stooky, you lost the money again? But anyway, a lot of people they watch boxing, but they don't really watch boxing. Like meaning they don't pick up on the sweet sign, they don't pick up on little things. They're watching, but they ain't watching. If that makes sense. So I understand it. And if you watch White Man Can't Jump, when he was like, "Oh, you don't hear Jimmy," that's kind of the same thing. And the reason I say this because a lot of people just recycle. You know those little arrows, those three arrows with the recycle logo. That's what they do. They just recycle what other people say. I keep hearing the same shit about Wilder. Oh, chicken legs, noodle legs, windmill Wilder, bum squad. He fought my Uber driver and Lyft driver. All the same shit. Motherfucker, you fight him. You hop in that ring with him. If all he does is knock out Uber drivers, I promise you could be the next Charlie Z. Charlie Z at least trains, so Charlie Z probably would do better than half of y'all motherfuckers. Y'all, oh, bum squad. Okay, you lace up and get in there with him. I met the dude several times. Motherfucker's big. Pause. He's a big dude, and he got that corn-fed, backwoods, like slavery, prohibition, Jim Crow law, fucking country ass power. You know what I'm saying? So you get in the fucking ring with him. If it's all that, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go too far to like overly disrespect fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, bum squad. Okay, you get your bum ass up in there and see what happened. Period. He's clearly strong. And see, that's what I'm saying. People, that's what I'm saying. They watch boxing, but don't really watch it because half of the logic doesn't make sense. Like I seen Joshua fans, and the reason I know they're Joshua fans is profile names and pictures and stuff. But they wait for fighters or whatever personality in boxing or Jim Lampley or whoever the fuck it is to say these certain things, and then they just run with it. Like Anthony Joshua said something like, "Oh, Joseph Parker, he's trying to sell his belt." And then I see fans talking about, "Oh yeah, Wilder's trying to sell his belt. Parker's just trying to sell his belt." Y'all motherfuckers wasn't even talking about anyone selling belts until AJ said something. Y'all are some fucking copycats. You just copy and clone, copy paste, control V, command V, ass motherfuckers. That's what y'all are. You know what I'm saying? You just copy people. You know what I mean? Because I see the same like Anthony Joshua. He was like, oh, Deontay Wilder, he weighed 20 stone or whatever the fuck 227 pounds equals, and AJ was like, that's mad, he's too small, it's mad. You know what I mean? Like basically saying I'm gonna fuck him up. He's not big enough. You know what I mean? And then I see fans say that, but I can understand why Joshua's saying that's someone being that's someone that you could compete with. But fans saying that, first of all, Wilder will stretch you. Second of all, if you really understand that logic, it doesn't make sense. Wilder has the most prolific for this time, this era, knockouts in the heavyweight division. Name any other person, and we'll do a hot seat right now. Name another active fighter from this era that has a better highlight reel. I don't care who they fought either. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the status and status of their opponents when they get touched with that power. Tell me who has a more impressive highlight reel of knockouts. You know what I'm saying? I want someone to step up into the hot seat. You know what I mean? Who want it? Who's willing to step up and tell me who has a better knockout highlight reel at heavyweight? Triple J. Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. All right, Larry Walker. I was talking about the heavyweight division, but now you about to get bodied. How the fuck does Triple G have a more impressive highlight reel? Now you just getting in the hot seat because you being retarded. Who is Triple G even stretched outside of like Ashita? That doesn't even make sense. Y'all just say names. Who has Triple G even really stretched? Like Wilder knocked out Spilka, single shot, and Spilka was like Passion of Christ, just arms crucified on the mat. You know what I mean? Bermain Stavern did the Tootsie Roll. The butterfly, that's let me see that. Like, that's a big dude. Bermain Stavern is not little. He's like 6'4", but he's like husky size. And his legs were folded back. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Who's Triple G ever done like that? He didn't even do that to Canelo, who's new to the division. Like, y'all just, man, I'm putting hot seats on all you. Like, I should just put a hot seat out and just start dropping bodies because y'all be saying stupid. Triple G. I can't even, literally, Ishida's the only person I could think of where he brutally knocked them out. And that was a 154 pounder who was moving up. Passion to Christ, that wasn't funny. Then don't laugh. Who cares? Move on. Turn off the stream if you're offended. Crazy. Triple G is strong, but his power is overrated. He definitely has power. But anyway, back to my story because we don't have no real hot seats. But Wilder has the craziest knockouts. Like, you know what I'm saying? His knockouts look insane. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not even talking about resume. I'm not talking about resume because you still have to have the ability to knock out a motherfucker crazy. Like Paulie Malignaggi don't have no crazy knockouts, no matter who he was fighting. You know what I'm saying? So you still have to be able to produce a great deal of power to knock someone out, especially in the heavyweight division, because a lot of times the fighters outweigh Wilder. All right, Trey, you about to get blocked. He said you be on your feelings. Keep talking crazy. Keep talking crazy. You know, I'm really finna be in my feelings and you be out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in my feelings. Listen, because I say stuff and I'm expressive and I'm passionate about what I say, doesn't mean I'm in my feelings. Because when I leave this stream, I'm probably going to get something to eat the rest of my tri-tip, probably talk to this chick on FaceTime, and just veg out. You know what I mean? I don't take none of this shit home with me. Like, oh man, this guy really got under my skin. I don't know half of y'all. Anyway, Myron Dinner, $3 super chat, gang. Manny Pacquiao super dumb without Freddie Roach. We're gonna get to Pacquiao too. We definitely gonna get to that conversation. But like I said, Wilder has crazy knockouts. So all this, he's only 227. That's mad, and he's too little, or people saying he has chicken legs. Who gives a shit if chicken legs is generating the type of power where his knockouts look more vicious than Pacquiao, who has big ass legs? You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao, right? He got some big ass calf muscles, right? But he hasn't had a knockout since 2009. So this is what I'm saying. This is how I could tell people just recycle. They just recycle what they hear someone else say. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Wilder's chicken legs. Okay, he has chicken legs, but he's frying chicken when he's fighting guys and knocking them out brutally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you really telling me? Or like, even like I said, what Joshua said, oh, that's mad. He only weighs 20 stone or whatever the conversion is. It's not really mad because he's still weighing 227, weighing 230. He's still stretching guys worse than guys who might be 250, 260, 270 or whatever. You know what I mean? Gerald Big Baby Miller, that's my dude. But he weighs 300 and he don't have the knockout reel of a Wilder. But he's 300 pounds and he's big. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude. I was in New York for I think it was his last fight. No, not his last fight, but the fight before that. You know what I'm saying? And he's almost 300 pounds. Marish Weck, or whatever the fuck. He's like 7 feet tall, and he probably weigh a good amount, but he's not stretching nobody like that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the point of being worried about skinny legs and making those types of comparisons? I just don't. Like I said, the only thing I can gather is people hear other people say it and just repeat it. Wilder got skinny leg, but he's knocking people out. Who cares if he has skinny forearms, a skinny neck, pencil neck. You know what I mean? Who cares about none of that if you're achieving what you want? You know what I mean? And realistically, a lot of times boxers who are like buff and ripped, they're not even producing necessarily the power. Like Tim Bradley don't hit as hard as Ruslan, but Ruslan's body don't look like ripped like Bradley. Or John Molina got cracks, but he don't look like much of a boxer. If you were to look at, put it this way, and this is no disrespect, but shout out to my dude John Molina. Name a boxing movie, because you know Hollywood tries to do it up. Name a boxing movie where the main event or the main protagonist in the movie that was a boxer had a body like John Molina. Name a movie like, you know what I'm saying, where like Michael B. Jordan got in John Molina shape for Creed. Because it's Hollywood, so they want, you know what I mean, they want you to look like Stallone and Rocky, even though that's not how it really works in boxing. It's not really about being ripped and vascular, right? But that's what Hollywood portrays it as. You know what I mean? Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal got buff or whatever for Southpaw, stuff like that. That's what they want you to think. But in the real world of boxing, people who don't even look like Lucas Matisse, he don't just have no like crazy ass like beach body pause, but he'll knock you the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Tony Bellew and Creed. Yeah, but he was a real boxer at least. He wasn't that, like my question was like actors, where the actor played a boxer and had to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so yeah, people will just recycle the same thing about Wilder. The same thing I hear about the windmill. So it's always a fresh breath of fresh air to hear people that know what they're talking about. Like Paulie Malignaggi is one of them. Like if you guys follow my channel, you'll remember I said this. And look who's on Showtime saying it. Listen, hold on. People talk about he gets wild.
Once he got him hurt, you can be a little restless. But before that, I look at what he did before he hurt. That shit was something of beauty, bro. That shit was something special. The thing that means to kind of take.
That's literally like you could go research the tapes, and I literally said that same thing that Paulie is now saying. And this interview just came out, and he's the pro. You know what I'm saying? Much respects to Paulie. I get a lot of knowledge from him, but you know what I mean? Real recognize real, and people see it. Well, let me just paraphrase what he said, because if you want, you can go to Showtime Boxing's Instagram. But basically, he says a lot of people keep talking about, oh, he's wild, Wilder's real wild. He says, but he does that after he gets you hurt, after you're badly like immobilized. That's basically what he's saying. He said I like to see what he did leading up to that. He said that jab was a thing of beauty. I told people Wilder has a good jab. Wilder's athletic, and he's fast for a heavyweight, right? But let these casuals tell it. It's just about, oh, windmill Wilder, and I've seen people make edits of Wilder swinging all crazy and leaping off the ground and stuff. He does that after you're about to get fucked up. So again, people making edits and constantly talking about that. If you really break it down, who gives a shit if you're still getting destroyed? And nobody's made up until, we'll see if Luis Ortiz has something to say about it. But up until this point, nobody has made him pay for doing that wild shit. Once he has you badly hurt, he did it to Gerald Washington. He did it to Johan Duhapa. He did it to Bermain Stavern. You know what I mean? But if nobody has yet to make you pay, then who cares? It's just like, yeah, if you're in a boxing gym, like learning boxing, no one's gonna tell you to fight like Roy Jones Jr. unless they want to see you get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of things that you wouldn't really recommend a new boxer or someone picking up the sport. Hey, when your opponent's coming to you, stick your head out and put your hands at your waist, okay? They're not gonna tell you to do that because they know most people don't have the fucking reflexes, and you doing all this with your hands low, you bow, bow, oh shit. Oh shit. And your shit gonna be leaking. But Roy Jones was able to get in his prime. He's able to get away with all that shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like people pick at like stuff that doesn't really matter until someone makes him pay for the. And this is how I know a lot of people who say the casual comments like this is all about who they like and who favoritism. You know what I mean? If there's a knockout artist like Golovkin, you know what I mean, and he's not even a true knockout artist in the same vein as a Wilder, you love him, but Wilder, you hate him. You call him a bum. Triple G's resume up until recently wasn't that great himself. He was yes, he was fighting people he couldn't in his division, but his division wasn't stacked. But they had no problem with Triple G knocking out guys we never even watched. We never. How many people could be like, before the Triple G fight, before his name was linked, say I watched 3 or 4 Dominique Wade's performances, or Willie Monroe. I seen 4 Willie Monroe fights. Even today, some people haven't seen 4 Willie Monroe fights, or a Triple G fight, or Willie Monroe or Dominique Wade. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Pacquiao, he don't do a lot of stuff right, but if he was able to get away with it, he's able to get away with it. And so far, Wilder's wingspan, his reach, his length, his attitude, and his right hand, and he has power in his left. So his power and athleticism, he's been able to get away with whatever people thinks he lacks, or the what's it called, the windmilling, or all that bullshit. Pacquiao's fighting Jermell Charlo next. Well, then they're gonna ship him back to the Philippines in pieces, because that's a horrible fight for him. Wow, more excuses. I see. Listen, Ego's Army, we gotta stand for something. And what Jay Mars said, listen, what Jay Mars says, we're not buying it. We're not doing these excuses. Y'all motherfuckers, listen, I seen it. I seen this coming, and I've said it in several videos. Jay Mars is saying Luis Ortiz is too old, just like Joshua fought an old Klitschko. First of all, Joshua, his opponents are his opponents. You can't compare a 41-year-old Klitschko that has been knocked out by Lamont Brewster, Corey Saunders, rest in peace Corey Sanders, and just came off the Tyson Fury loss on a long layoff. That don't got shit to do with Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is on paper, as far as we know, he's younger than Klitschko. That's one thing. 2, he's never been stretched like Klitschko's been stretched. They're different fighters, different styles. One's coming off a loss, one's not coming off. Stop with these excuses. Y'all gotta, Ego's Army, like I said, stand for something. We gotta stop with these excuses. People are already making, oh yeah, Ortiz is old, just like Joshua. No. You don't lump them together, because Luis Ortiz's style is not even a Klitschko style. You know what I mean? And like I said, the circumstances aren't the same. Klitschko is coming off of a layoff and a loss. Ortiz just fought in December, and he hasn't been knocked out as a pro. So stop with these excuses, like these premeditated excuses, so you don't have, this is what they do, so they don't have to give the fighter credit when if Wilder is to win this, they could be like, oh, see, I told you Ortiz was just too old. More recycled bullshit from J Mar. That's we're not doing that. We're not buying that. And this is how I know, because they did this with Mayweather Pacquiao. If Luis Ortiz was so old and so dilapidated and crusty and all this shit, why were people saying he was the boogeyman? Why were people saying that, oh, why doesn't Wilder fight when Wilder was pressing Joshua? And then those same fans were like, oh, why doesn't Wilder fight Luis Ortiz? Because he was perceived as the boogeyman, so they tried to throw, even though Ortiz at the time was Joshua's mandatory, they were trying to throw Ortiz on Wilder. Ortiz fails a drug test, and then Wilder was just like, okay, goes on to another opponent. The WBC allows Ortiz back into the rankings, and then Wilder gives him another opportunity. So it's really no comparison to what y'all are saying. You know what I mean? Period. So stop with these fucking, oh, he was done. Oh, he was done. Nope. We're not playing that. We're not buying that. Because if he was so done, why did you try to force Wilder to fight him when he was Joshua's mandatory? Oh, why doesn't Wilder shut the hell up, calling out AJ? And why doesn't he just go in there and fight Luis Ortiz? Why do you want to see him fight Ortiz if you thought he was done and he was too old? So don't use them excuses now. It's what they did with Mayweather Pacquiao. For 5 long years, we debated as a public who would win, Floyd or Pacquiao. Then they met up at the Miami Heat game and all that bullshit. Looked like the fight was gonna happen. Then Floyd shows you the contract. Now it's, oh, the fight should have happened 5 years ago. Pacquiao's already lost to Marquez. He got knocked out and he's not the no. Because just before that, you were saying Floyd would never take the fight. He was still scared. So now it's a signed contract. Don't back off the blocks now. Don't back off the blocks now. Wilder gonna dog Ortiz, AJ ducked Ortiz. Yeah, but you can't make no excuses about, or if Ortiz loses, he loses. But he has a style where he's technically sound. So usually guys who are technically good, fundamentally good, usually they have a longer shelf life in the sport. So everybody using that Ortiz bullshit, oh, yo, he's old. That doesn't really apply. Like we've seen guys like Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd, B-Hop, and they've had longer lasting careers. And that's because they have the technical ability and fundamental. And especially B-Hop and Floyd, they had a better, like, good defense. So bottom line is Ortiz is dangerous. So if he wins, then props to him. If Wilder wins, props to him. We're not doing this, oh, he was too old and all this stuff. That's a cop-out. That's an excuse. Because if he was too old, y'all should have said that from the beginning. And, like, just in November, just in November, I was doing videos when Luis Ortiz got popped dirty and had the failed drug test with the 2 things in the system. I literally seen fans. I seen fans who were saying Wilder called VADA and Wilder looked for a way out of the fight and he was scared, you know what I'm saying, afraid of Luis Ortiz. That's why he pulled out. They were blaming Wilder. So that was just in November. So if Ortiz was so old, then why were people saying that because Ortiz got busted through VADA, they were saying that Wilder found a way out of the fight? You know what I'm saying? So no, we're not doing that. We're not doing these excuses. Because again, new media versus them, they're not consistent. Just in November, they were saying Wilder found a way out of the fight. Now he's fighting the motherfucker. So he didn't find a way out of the fight because it's not like a lot of time has elapsed. That's November to March 3rd to be exact. So they still got it on and cracking months apart. You know what I mean? So don't try to switch it up now. Talking about he got old because when he was fighting Daniel Martz and Martz had nothing for him coming off a long layoff. You know what I mean? He wasn't too old then. So, and like I said, styles make fights. Ortiz, he's not just getting, he's been avoided for the most part. So he doesn't have no stellar resume of Klitschko's and Lennox Lewis. So he ain't even really been in no wars. So even though his age is 38 or whatever, his style and his resume has preserved him. What did Malik Scott do to him? What did Dave Allen do to him? You know what I mean? So it's not like he's getting like tough, like Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez wars, or like Matisse, he's been looking like shit, but he's been in wars. Zab Judah, Danny Garcia, John Molina. So usually guys like that, especially if they're brawlers, they have a shorter shelf life. So yeah, we're not doing them excuses. Make sure y'all smash the like button. We gotta get cracking. We gotta be the best. We gotta be the best out here. Live stream king, man. We're just talking this boxing talk. I just wanted to rap to y'all about this. But I mean, overall, I'm really happy for Wilder Ortiz. Great main event. Wilder's talking a lot of shit too. So I mean, that makes it exciting because he's putting pressure on himself. Because obviously, if he loses, he has enough haters and he's talked enough trash where people will rub that in his face. So I'm anxious for that reason, just to see. Why Triple G begging Canelo to not use any defense like, hey Canelo, please stand there and let me punch you. Well, that was actually Tom Loeffler who made the comment. I didn't hear Triple G actually say it, but I mean, bottom line is Team Triple G will say as a collective, they know what Canelo's good at, and they know he's a well-rounded fighter. So they're trying to create this perception for the public and put this bug in the ear to try to bait Canelo into fighting some type of stupid fight that would more suit them. You know what I'm saying? See, this is what I'm saying. This always happens with all the guys in boxing who are pound for pound number one. Let ESPN tell it, let HBO tell it, let certain fat writers tell it. You know what I mean? So if this person's number one pound for pound, why does he give a fuck how the other person is fighting? You pound for pound, you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. You shouldn't worry about it. You know what I mean? And it's like always the guys that, like I said, get a lot of hype and press and stuff from ESPNs and the HBOs and old media. Like, you pound for pound, and you worried about how the next man is fighting. Circumvent that. Find a way to cut off the ring on Canelo. He's running too much. He's fighting not Mexican style or whatever. Then use your jab and set up combination punches. Throw more than 8 body punches. Slow all that shit down. Listen, Canelo, I don't give a fuck who says what. They're about to do their press conference tomorrow. Canelo has more. This is not just gonna like determine because styles make fights, but skillfully, Canelo has more skill than Golovkin. Canelo has way more skill than Golovkin, and the reason here's to me an example of that. I'm talking about overall skill, meaning like not just offense, but offense, defense, and the whole package. This is why Canelo has more skill to me, is because he was basically a dead man in terms of in the fatigue stamina department, and Triple G still didn't do nothing to him. And it'd be one, like I said, it'd be one thing if it's like a Paulie Malignaggi middleweight where he's not known for these dramatic finishes and power and stuff like that. But Golovkin was the alleged known killer with great finishes, and Canelo ran out of energy but still had enough width about him and never was really like in any danger even though he was tired. That has to show you something. He was able to remain I guess safe even despite being visibly tired. Visibly. Everyone's seen it. I mean, if you could be the biggest Canelo fan, but if you try to say his stamina didn't plague him in that fight, then you know what I'm saying, you're just a man fan. So everyone's seen it, and Golovkin still couldn't do nothing like that. Imagine if Floyd was in there, and he's not even like considered this monstrous welterweight puncher. But imagine if he has someone in there like Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Someone who's out of their element, someone who's gassing out. You see what happens. He stopped him. Conor was way bigger than him. And you can say, oh, it's because he's an MMA fighter. They don't have nothing to do with it, because again, you still have to be able to put it together. If Paulie Malignaggi fought Conor and he got tired, that doesn't mean he would have necessarily stopped him. You know what I mean? So just what Golovkin's been billed as, I see he got a lot of praise. Like he's strong. He's a good fighter. A lot of times it's because of his offense and his ability on offense. But Canelo to me has better overall all around skill. Like I don't see if the tables were reversed and Golovkin was the one who's faded, I think Canelo probably would have got him out of there. You know what I'm saying? If Golovkin was as tired, but see, luckily Golovkin has good stamina. But if Golovkin was as tired as Canelo was, I think Canelo would have got him out of there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, as far as the team, Golovkin, it's really a ploy to try to embarrass Canelo. Like, hey, he's supposed to be the Mexican guy, and he doesn't want to fight Mexican style. So, like, the crowd can go to the fight, and if Canelo's using defense, being smart, you're trying to put that bug in the ear. I see the games, man. You're trying to put that. I like how you break down the boxing, bro. #ego. Thank you. I mean, I see what they're doing. They're trying to do that to compromise Canelo's. You know what I mean? They're trying to like kind of step on his pride. He's an actual Mexican guy from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico, right? And they're trying to challenge his machista and his cojones and his shit like that. Oh shit. He doesn't even want to fight Mexican style. Golovkin's more Mexican than him. All he did was run. You know what I'm saying? See, and like real talk, let's get it in. I'm gonna be real. There's this stigma because boxing does have race involved. Listen, old media is gonna tell you, oh, why are you bringing up the race card? Oh, there's no race. Shut the fuck up. Period. Shut the fuck up. Because most of the people saying, the old media is saying, they're not doing it. You're not doing better than me. You don't have more subscribers than me. See, I talk about the real. You know what I mean? And people respect the real. But if there's racism in the world, you think racism is just like, is that boxing? Let's stay away from this sport. Let's go to the UFC. Let's go to basketball. It's stupid. If there's racism in the world, why would there not be race topics and racism in boxing? You know what I'm saying? Who's sending out those correspondents to Golden Boy if there's no racism in boxing? But again, let old media tell it. When you bring up these demons and when you bring up the topic of race, they say, oh, shut up. You're exaggerating. Let's get back to boxing. Fuck this race talk. So anyway, the reason I brought up race right now is because there's this stigma that a lot of black fighters get, right? For having overall skill, ability, defense, lateral movement, and they get called all types of runners, bitches. That's code words. Runners, pussies, bitches, chickens. He ran, bro. That's code words. You just basically calling them. You're trying to call them an N-word. You know what I mean? That's what you would rather call them, but you have to mask it between bullshit. So real shit. Since we being real, that's kind of how I perceive the conversation. I can't say Team Triple G's intent. I can't say Team Triple G's intent directly, but that's with a lot of the fans. You know what I mean? All right, we got a hot seat. I'm about to body this man. He says, nah, I disagree. His name is VJ. You named after a vagina, so I know I'm gonna body you. Your name is JJ or whatever. So come get bodied for JJ. Sex in the City ass name. So what do you disagree with? What do you disagree with, JJ? Come get this work, JJ. See, everybody got disagreements until it comes time to disagree. All right, I'm about to body this man. You a fucking liar. He says, first of all, you're nobody. Like, nobody knows you. You talking about, we don't call out black fighters for running except Floyd. Who the fuck is we? How do you speak on behalf of we? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Who is we? Who is we? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna body this man. This shit is too easy. Name one other black fighter who is accused of running. It doesn't have to be just running, but there's black fighters. Terrence Crawford, when he fought Victor Postal, I was at the fight in Las Vegas. He beat Victor Postal's ass, and they still said he ran. Oh, why didn't he go for the kill? Why didn't he go for the finish? Why did Daniel Jacobs get on his bicycle versus Golovkin? What are you talking about? Black fighters constantly get belittled. Like, if they won, it was because some treacherous shit, or, oh, Andre Ward hit him in the nuts, and he's going to run. You know what I mean? It'd be before the fight happens. Robert Guerrero was talking about Keith Thurman was going to run. He literally said that, and Keith Thurman was melting Robert Guerrero. He was melting him. And if anybody should have ran, it should have been Guerrero, because he was looking like a ghost when Keith Thurman was hitting him with that one-time ooh-wop. So what are you talking about? Muhammad Ali got called a runner. Get this man out. Listen, shooter on deck, get Vijay out of here. He does not deserve to have more responses. What are you talking about? He's talking about we. Oh, we do not say that. Who's we? Who are you talking about? What do you mean, oh, dude? So no one called Muhammad Ali a runner? Anyway, he's gone. Get him out of here. That was an easy one. Because I know you're lying. Like I said, put it this way. Y'all can take it how you want. When you get a fighter like Errol Spence Jr., right? Let's say Errol Spence Jr. versus Chris Algieri. No, everybody knows what they think is going to happen in the fight, and they know Errol Spence Jr. is probably going to come forward. Nobody's going to call Errol Spence Jr. a runner in that fight because they know he's not going to run from Chris Algieri. Algieri doesn't have the power to make him run. But if it's like Floyd versus Pacquiao or Canelo, then they're going to call him a runner because Floyd's at a deficit in weight. So he's going to have to box smart. You're going to have to box the bigger guy smart or the powerful guy smart. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how that happens. A lot of times when the black fighter is the bully, right? Like the Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri example, they'll say something else. They're not going to call Errol Spence a runner because they know he has no reason to run. But if Errol Spence moved up and fought Golovkin, then they would call him a runner because he would probably have to box smart or some shit. You know what I mean? This is how the game goes. But anyway, fast forward to this whole Canelo Triple G. That's to me, that's how I take it. That's why it's being said. It's to insult. It's to insult Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I mean, why would you say that? Why would you say you came in the ring as listen to this. You came in the ring as a Mexican and you left as Floyd. So you came into the ring as a Mexican and you left as a black person. Like there's never been a Mexican who's ran in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You're saying that as an insult. You came in as a Mexican, which, you know what I mean? We know, like, historically, Mexico has had some of the toughest, most prideful fighters. You know what I'm saying? And then you say you left as Floyd Mayweather, who has all these negative notions, being a woman beater and a runner and a coward. I mean, come on, man. This shit is not rocket science. You came in as a Mexican, but you left as a nigga. That's basically what you should say. You know what I mean? You left as a black person. That's why motherfuckers was, let's be all the way real. That's why motherfuckers I was reading things on Black Panther, and they was mad at Black Panther and all the pre-sale success. So people were making up fake stories. Yeah, man. Like, it was like fake white tragedy stories where they're like, yeah, I just wanted to see Black Panther, and a group of Negroids, they jumped on me and said, get out of the theater, Whitey. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then come to find out, they weren't even pictures of circumstances that had anything to do with Black Panther. They were literally stealing pictures from other things on the news and saying they got jumped in the Black Panther theater and shit like that. Come on, man. And then people going on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb blocking or leaving bad reviews on purpose. Come on, man. Don't play me. Y'all motherfuckers don't know shit. It's not playing me talking about, oh, the Negroids, they said, get out of my theater. This is our movie. They did me like Killmonger. They said, is this your king? And they beat the fuck out of me. I don't know, dude. Like, really? Like, you have to lie? Like, if it really happened, it really happened. But, you know what I'm saying? It was proven because they showed you where the pictures really originated from. You know what I'm saying? I could pull it up right now. It's on Twitter. Right now. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it all the way funky. That's what people say when there's always like some negative connotation, especially with black fighters. You came in you entered the fight as a Mexican and then you left as Floyd Mayweather. Oh, okay. Like, I get it. Like, okay, like, here's an example. Why did Abel Sanchez said, he said, this is how I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Abel Sanchez says, you came in as a Mexican and you left as Floyd Mayweather. But there's been other boxers that have done shameful things. Why not use any of them? Why not say you came in as a tough Mexican and you left as Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? He's quitting fights. He didn't show up for the Canelo fight. So why didn't you say that? Why didn't you say, oh, you came in as a Mexican and you left like Matisse versus Victor Postal? Why not say that? You had to compare him to Floyd Mayweather. Why not say, oh, you came in as a Mexican, but you left like an Irish person, Conor McGregor, when Floyd beat his ass? Because the stigma is they want the black style or American style or whatever to be perceived as like weak and runner and all this bullshit and something negative. Listen, fighters, fight for that W. Fuck all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. And I'm telling you, and the boxing game is so crooked, man. The boxing game is so crooked because it's like everybody clown Floyd. The motherfucker just turned 41, and he ain't got no permanent, like his nose is like broken, looking like Owen Wilson and shit. You know what I mean? He's been smart with his money from what we could see. Not smart in terms of he don't make big purchases, but he got enough of the shit, right? Look at Brandon Rios. I guarantee you Brandon Rios is younger than Floyd Mayweather. I don't know his exact age, but I guarantee you he's not 41 years old. Who's really talking about, oh yeah, Brandon Rios needs to fight Errol Spence Jr. He needs to fight Keith Thurman. He needs to move up to 50. Nobody's talking about that shit because nobody really wants to see that. Because Brandon Rios was a gritty fighter, guerrero, warrior, and he fought with might, as you know what I mean, every time he stepped up, but he didn't have much of a defense. So again, look at guys like Robert Guerrero. So okay, Rios is 31, point proven. So Rios is literally 10 years younger than Floyd. See, this is the problem with boxing. See, I don't give a fuck who says what. You can't prove it wrong. Brandon Rios he just said he's 31. I just told you Floyd just turned 41. So Brandon Rios is a decade younger than Floyd Mayweather, yet people don't know where his career is at. Like, he just had a crossroads fight with Danny Garcia, and he got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? But then they make the Floyd Mayweather type of style or whatever, running, they make it sound like it's oh so horrible. So who would you rather be? You rather be a guy who at age 31, you just had a crossroads fight and got knocked out and, you know what I mean, did the stanky leg? Or would you rather be Floyd Mayweather, who for 20 years was untouchable and then got bored and had lured someone with a huge name from MMA and just set records again? I mean, but again, you make it sound like it's so horrible to have an American style or a black style or whatever you want to call it, or to be like Floyd Mayweather, not as a human, not as a person, because let's be real, Floyd does some coon stuff, he says coon stuff, I'm not dumb, but at the end of the day, I'm talking about as a boxer. See, I could separate all personal stuff from what they're doing in the ring, him or her. So, like, you know what I mean, like, miss me with all that Mexican style, and like, I mean, realistically, I could think of a couple of Mexican fighters that have quit. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Jr. And if you oh, that's bullshit, Chavez Sr., he never quit. Watch that Oscar De La Hoya rematch. Boop. That's why he got mad as fuck at Harold Letterman, or Larry Merchant or somebody after, because they called him a quitter, right? We know when Chavez Jr. quit versus, what's her name? From Faro, right? We seen Matisse, who's not Mexican, but he's from Argentina, he quit. We seen, I mean, Victor Ortiz, he's the king of quitting. He quit several times. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Stop with this Mexican style, this style. It's not about one race, or one race quits and the other race doesn't. Like, one race runs and one, like, stop that. Come on, stop that. So anyway, that's how I perceive it. That's kind of what Abel Sanchez to me is saying. We're saying stuff like, you came in as a Mexican, and that's an insult. You know what I'm saying? And funny, since we're talking about insults, you're obviously comparing him to one of the greatest fighters of this era, if not ever, in Floyd Mayweather, and somehow trying to make it sound bad. But either way, you did it as an insult. And since we're speaking of insults, Abel Sanchez got mad because Jamal Charlo was talking some shit, and he called Triple G 3 little G's, and said, oh, for that, he said on Dante's Boxing Nation, he says, for that, you don't get no fight. We gonna make you wait. So wait, let me get this right. You could be disrespectful, or you can insult people, and you can, you know what I mean, take shots, but as soon as someone does it to Golovkin, it's everything's out the window. You're gonna make them wait, despite if they're managed. Man, get the fuck out of here. And real talk, listen. Listen. And I hope I see Abel Sanchez so I can ask him this, because this is the ultimate hot seat question that I promise you, there's no real if you add that statement with this question, there's no way out. See, this is why it pays to just be real and trill, as my southern homies say. Be trill at all times. That way you don't have nothing to cover up. You don't have to go back like, oh shit, I said that. This counters or contradicts this. If y'all want to hear the ultimate hot seat to Abel Sanchez's argument, where he says that why should we fight Jermall Charlo? What he said was disrespectful. As a result, now he's at the back of the line. We're gonna make him wait till we say so. Despite the WBC, despite being a mandatory, can I get a hell yeah? And I will drop the ultimate question. And I guarantee you there's no answer for it. Can I get a hell yeah from the congregation? Ego's Army, stand up. We working. Let's go, man. Y'all got me pumped on this shit now. I'm not playing. It's not a game out here. Let's get it. And the real talk, there's no disrespect to Abel, but I listen to what people say. And you like, see, this is not politics. You're not just gonna tell me something, and then I listen to it, and I compute it, and it don't add up, and then I just ride with it. Like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Think about, like, let's say y'all had a girlfriend. Let's say you had a girlfriend and she said she went to her friend's baby shower, and then you thought of something where that wouldn't make sense. Like, you said you went to Linda's baby shower, but 2 days ago you said Linda is out of town in the Dominican Republic. So would you just, even though you heard an inconsistency with your own live-in girlfriend, she told you she went to this girl's baby shower, but 2 days ago she said she's on a 2-week trip in the Dominican Republic, and the shit's not adding up to you, would y'all just omit what you just heard and just be like, oh well, when there's a clear inconsistency? You know what I'm saying? So if you wouldn't do that to your spouse or wife or husband, don't do it to me. We question things around here. But anyway, y'all put the hell yeah, so just explain this to me. Once again, let's recap. Dante's Boxing Nation had an interview with Abel Sanchez, and he asked about Jermall Charlo fight. Abel Sanchez said something to the effect of, oh, he called Triple G 3 little G's. He's disrespectful. As a result, we're going to make him wait because he wants to be disrespectful. And he hasn't done nothing, right? Whatever. Cool. So here's the question. If we're talking about disrespect, right, and a lack of respect is going to get you out of contention to make the fight, why are they talking about getting past Canelo, keeping the belt, and then unifying with Billy Joe Saunders? Has Billy Joe Saunders not been disrespectful towards Triple G Gennady Golovkin? He called him Borat. He calls him Triple G string. So how is that not just, what's worse? If somebody says 3 little G's or calls someone Borat, obviously making fun of a fictitious character that's supposedly from Kazakhstan, you know what I mean? Or calling him Triple G string. That literally, that's what Billy Joe Saunders called him. So why are you pushing for a unification if you get past Canelo? Why would Team Triple G be pushing for that if it's all about merit and respect versus disrespect? Let alone, I already had another point. Curtis Stevens was posting memes with Triple G's name on a casket. That's wild disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy disrespect. And he got the fight. I mean, he paid for it in the fight because Triple G was mad. Right? So, like, I don't get this whole... Look. New media. This is it. Billy Joe Saunders to Golovkin. Triple G spot. I'll fight you. Blah, blah, blah. Send me the contract. So, why would Billy Joe Saunders be given an opportunity if he's calling him Triple G spot and G string and all this extra shit? Borat and all this. Huh? Y'all can't fuck with me, man. Give me some harder work. All I'm saying is this. I'm not the toughest person. The stuff has to make sense. Make it make sense. So to me, back to Canelo Triple G, that's why it's said as an insult. That's why I said as an insult. You came in as a Mexican, you left as a Negroid. That's basically what you're saying. You left as Floyd Mayweather. And I don't know. I don't think like that to me that's kind of lame, kind of corny. Like you take the listen. Hey, somebody stop me. Somebody stop me because I keep thinking of these points. I'm about to go in full ego belly mode, man. Y'all can't fuck with it. Who the fuck is Kane? Who's Kane? Who is Kane? He talking about you avoid who you perceive as a threat. Who? Who's the threat? Are you talking about the hot seat? Or are you talking about Abel? I don't know what you talking about. But anyway, I just thought of another point. If y'all want this other point, like I'm just gonna throw out these points. You know when you go to a concert and they be throwing out free shirts and t-shirts and posters and shit? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just throw out these points. If y'all want the latest point about the inconsistency on what Abel Sanchez has said, can I get a hell yeah? That's it. That's all I need. Just a little motivation. I just need a quick hell yeah. Okay, so Tom Loeffler says Abel Sanchez came up with a good one. He says Canelo entered the ring as a Mexican and he left as Floyd Mayweather, right? Okay, so somehow being TBE or the greatest fighter of this generation who's undefeated 20 years, that's something negative. Whatever, cool. You found a way to turn that into an insult. Answer this. Why did Golovkin and team and Abel say they wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather at 154 and Floyd was the only person they were willing to come down? If Floyd in his style and leaving as Floyd is such an embarrassment, why did you want to fight him? Why did Triple G want to fight Golovkin, wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather at 154? He wasn't willing to budge for anybody else when Canelo said, I'm not ready to move up, fight me at 155. You weren't ready to fight anybody else other than Pacquiao or Floyd at 154. So why did you want to fight him if leaving as Floyd, leaving the ring as Floyd or whatever is such an embarrassment? You know what I'm saying? So either way, looking shaky, baby. It's not adding up. That type of stuff does not add up. Either it's an insult or it isn't. People talking about the money, the bread, fuck all that. You still want to fight him. So once again, something's not adding up because a lot of what Team Triple G said was about legacy. So now it's all about money. Now they just want to fight the small guy for money. That's what you guys are telling me now. For all the people saying, oh, it's about money. It's the bread. It's just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump be saying so many different things, he can't keep up with it. He don't remember all the stuff he says. So it's easy. Like, I ain't never seen one president that have so many like videos of contradiction. You know what I mean? People making these edits, not like splicing together your words to make it sound like you said something else. I'm talking about shit where they'll play him saying, oh yeah, so and so, I love Muslims, and then he'd be like, let's get rid of all Muslims or whatever, you know what I mean, where it's complete contradictions. I never seen it, but that's why it just makes sense to just be real, be honest as best as you can, stuff like that. So that's my whole thoughts. I think there's something else there. You perceive Charlo as a threat. That's the only thing I can gather because the other stuff is not adding up. Now it's about respect versus disrespect, because if that's the case, then Billy Joe Saunders should never get a fight because he called you Triple G spot. You know what I'm saying? So obviously there's more than meets the eye, like G.I. Joe used to say. Canelo's kind of becoming the Mexican Floyd because he hated controversial pay-per-view star in Las Vegas. Yeah, but listen, we got to get off this thing where like being TBE or this generation's best fighter as a boxer is such a terrible thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how they make it sound. Oh, it's just horrible, horrible. Like he entered the ring as a Mexican, like that. And Abel Sanchez, to my knowledge, is Mexican. So that's uncalled for. And like I said, why do you have to use a black example? There's other people who have done disgraceful things. There's other people who ran, other people who, you know what I mean? But you use Floyd Mayweather because, like I said, they always want to have that negative connotation. Tom Loeffler's done this several times himself. I seen on his Twitter, he did Superfly, which was an action-packed card. Shout out to them. And then he says, no running here, or some shit like that. So, I mean, we get it. I know, you know what they're trying to do with all this running shit. Put it this way, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. All these motherfuckers talking about running and shit like that is because they cannot do what the other fighters who run do. Does anyone not understand that, huh? Like 50 Cent said, what I mean is, if you had the ability, the agility, the skill, the prowess, the finesse to have a defense, you worked on it, you honed your skills, and your defense, right? Right? You did all of this. Why would you not use that? So, real talk, all these Superfly motherfuckers or action star, it's because they usually cannot do the things that the runners do. That's it. Because, so you mean to tell me there's a guy out, like, listen, okay, here's an example. Brandon Rios. So you mean to tell me Brandon Rios has the ability to skillfully fight off the ropes and have this crazy defense, pull counter, and do all this crazy stuff and defensive stuff that Floyd does, right? But he just chooses not to for the pleasure of the fans. He wants to get knocked out by Danny Garcia by a shot and have his head literally go like that. He wants to do that just for the enjoyment of the people because he just values the sport so much. No, it's because that's not his style. He can't fight like that. He never learned to fight like that. He doesn't want to fight, whatever the situation is. It's plain and simple. Because why would you not? That's like, all right, let's say I'm starving and I got $1 million in my bank account and I'm at a restaurant and I'm starving, then guess what? I'm gonna get myself something to eat. But if I'm broke as fuck and my account is overdrawn and I have no money and I'm at that restaurant, then I'm gonna starve. Not because I want to starve, but out of necessity. I'm not in a position to eat. If you were starving and you were in a position to eat, then why would, I got $1 million in my account, but guess what? Even though I'm at a restaurant and the food's smelling great, I'm not gonna eat. These fighters that fight action style, that's great for them. They entertain me, it makes for great boxing. But they can't fight like Caleb Plant. They can't fight like Floyd Mayweather. They don't know how to fight like Canelo. Period. You think Golovkin, listen, look at Canelo's upper body movement, right? You think Golovkin could do that and he's just choosing not to. Golovkin is like, hey, no, guys, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he's catching and shooting and doing all this wild shit, like stuff that's like, I don't know, impressive, eye-gauging. Like when Canelo fought Cotto threw a lazy-ass jab at him, right? Canelo pulled his head back, shot the uppercut. He was like, bow. And then he caught Cotto with it. Cotto was kind of stumbled. Then he threw a hook and Canelo rolled underneath it. So you mean to tell me sequences like that, which I've never seen on a Gennady Golovkin highlight reel, where he pulled his head back to evade the shot, countered with the uppercut, and then rolled the hook, right? I've never seen Golovkin do that, ever. Never seen a lot of guys do that. You know what I'm saying? But never seen Golovkin do it. So y'all mean to tell me he can do that, but he just, in 37 fights or whatever the fuck he has, thank you, he just chooses not to do that. Get the fuck out of there. So all this running shit, it's because he's fighting a style that's complicating things for you. Shout out to Chepo Reynoso and the Reynosos. I know y'all always be singing on every time I see you on like 24/7 and stuff. Y'all be singing, but shout out to y'all. Good trainers. They know. They keep saying the same thing about Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I agree with some of what I've read from them saying. What the fuck? Hey! I just clicked on my Twitter. Hey, we lit. Hey, let me stop before that. Hey. Anyway, so all this running shit is just crazy to me. Like, let's say Robert Guerrero. So he could, when he fought Floyd Mayweather, he could have done what Floyd was doing. You know what I'm saying? No, he fights how he fights, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? I can't imagine why you would have the ability to do something unless you're a fucking superhero. See, that's a good example. Superhero, that's some fake shit where like some DC comic shit where Superman, he knows he has the ability to stop this train from coming, or he could use his superpowers to flip this car over, but he might not choose to do it because he doesn't want to reveal that. You know what I'm saying? That's like some superhero shit. We're meaning like these guys have these like secret abilities and crazy defense, and they could get on their toes and bicycle, and they choose not to do it just cause. You know what I mean? Superman will go into a bar and someone's picking on him, and Superman can easily kick all their asses. You know what I mean? But he's choosing not to. He's choosing to let them beat him up or something, so he doesn't reveal his secret, even though he can easily knock out the 5 people harassing him. Shout out to Big Time. $10 super chat. Told y'all them yellow and them orange super chats, man. $10 super chat, Shmoney Gang. He says, always appreciate the content, homie. And I always appreciate y'all. And the real boxing fans, we just got to get back to real boxing talk, real debates, real everything. Real. Hey, we got to get to real everything. Hey. Everything real, man. 2018. Yeah. Hey. Let me stop. Y'all motherfuckers be snitching on my Instagram. And then Ego starts showing us cheeks. In the midst of us talking about boxing, he starts showing us cake, man. What is wrong with this guy? Why does anyone even follow him? Don't follow me then. Fuck out of here. That's how my New Yorkers be saying it. They be like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, man. So that's my whole thing. All that Mexican style, stop. Golovkin is not Mexican. Canelo is. Stop. You know what I'm saying? If shit pop off in Mexico, like the hurricanes or earthquakes and stuff, I'm pretty sure that Canelo will probably be there before somebody who's not, like, you know what I mean, from there, like Golovkin. Which is right. You know what I mean? If shit pops off in Kazakhstan, Triple G will be over there before Canelo, I'm sure. Shout out to Yashan. $2 super chat, Money Gang. He said, facts. Thank God you're coming to the Barclays. I don't know when I'm coming to the Barclays next, man. I'm not coming out for Wilder or Ortiz. But that's my whole thing, man. Like I just don't like I kind of resent this whole Mexican style thing. It was like fun while it lasted. Now it's kind of like because you're taking the actual Mexican fighter and you're trying to kind of remove his identity and strip away his actual ethnicity. I get it. Canelo's a ginger, freckles, looks like he's Irish and stuff, but at the heart of it, the roots, his native tongue, he's actually Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So trying to make it like he's not a true Mexican or he's not a true warrior, and like, come on, that to me that's not needed. I don't think it's needed, me personally. You know what I mean? Especially in favor of someone who's not Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying in terms of the Mexican style coined phrase. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's like, what if I brought one of my white friends to Wakanda, and I'm like, man, look at him. He fights African style, African style, and I'm saying this to actual Wakandans, motherfuckers from Wakanda, and I'm telling you how this white guy fights African style, and Black Panther, he's not African style. Like, does that make any sense to anybody? Black Panther, he's actually African, and I brought this white dude, and I'm like, yeah, he the real African style, Wakandan style, African style. And I'm fucking around with, I'm with Vanilla Ice and shit. African style. Like, it sounds weird to me, but hey. I'm with Slim Shady, brain dead like Jam Brady. I'm an M80, you little like that Kim lady. I'm buzzing, dirty dozen, naughty rotten rhymer. Cursing at you players worse than Marty. African style. I'm with African style. Y'all ain't African style. This motherfucker is African style. Like, I'm with Justin Timberlake and shit. Senorita, I feel for you. Oh. That's the real African style. Y'all motherfuckers is faking. Y'all some fake Wakandans. Like, it just sounds weird to me. We understand the code words, people. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get my ass beat in Wakanda too. Get him. Oh shit. I'll be running out of Wakanda. Man, get the vibranium and shit. They be jumping me. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't personally really dig it. Like the whole. And like I said, it's like it's culture vulture stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Triple G's Mexican style when it suits him. If you fight a motherfucker with don't have power like Willie Monroe, 6 knockouts, power you're not afraid of, yeah, you might be Mexican style, but David Lemieux got cracks. You know what I mean? Mexican style him. Just have a rock'em sock'em robot. Dude sound like a Floyd promoter. I don't know who Dude is, but for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm just giving my thoughts on this whole thing. You know what I mean? And Tom Loeffler, he's doing it too. He's like, Mexican style. You're not Mexican. Like I said, I'm gonna go to Wakanda and bring one of my white partners and be like, yeah, this is the real Wakandan style. Like, kind of weird. But beyond that, to me, there's certain code words that are being said. You know what I'm saying? All this runners and shit. Rigo ran. Okay. Jeff Horn fight Australian style. Hey, y'all gotta chill. That's funny. Black Panther versus Nacho Libre. That's a good match, man. I'm trying to see who wins that one. I don't know where Broner's fight is. I really don't. I haven't heard any updates. I haven't even heard Tank Davis's opponent 100% confirmed. I think he might be fighting Jesus Cuellar now, but I ain't heard Leonard Ellerby or nobody get on the horn and actually confirm either of those things. I don't know if it's at the Barclay because they didn't say at the Showtime up front. Shout out to Remember KO, $2 super chat. It says Remember KO 2019. I don't know what that means, but shout out to you for the donation. Appreciate it. Ego, any word of Charlo Centeno replacement? I don't think it's being replaced. They had a triple header, or what was going to be a triple header. Now that they've moved that fight, I believe they're just moving up Andre Durrell versus Jose Uzcategui, and then the main event. And they might put like another low-level fight. You know what I mean? Like a Richardson Hitchens or somebody else who's fighting. But I don't think they're gonna replace it with nothing massive. It's too little notice, and it's already a good card, even with just the two fights. Shout out to Dustin Martin, $5 super chat. Thanks, Ego, for keeping it 100 and putting decaps on blast. That's what I'm here for, man. Andre Ward fights biracial style. That's funny. Sell me a hat. Oh, I will sell you a hat. Coming soon, man. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm biracial, but I don't know. So I never mind. Biracial style. Yeah. Like it's just weird, man. And like the whole thing with this Mexican style shit is, I think Canelo's team kind of got mad because I remember at the press conference they said something like, they said he can keep saying his Mexican style, but we're Mexican. That's what they said. Chepo or one of them, Reynoso, one of his trainers said that. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's just kind of weird. Like it's like it's getting out of hand. Biracial, you black. Okay. What's my pops? Dummy. Enough foolishness. Anyway, I don't even have a black last name, dummy. Oh yeah, we coming soon, man. I don't like to reveal too much until it's ready, but I noticed what the fans said. Give an example of real Mexican style? No, I'm not going to give it. I don't believe there is a real Mexican style. Period. Because not every Mexican fight, Mickey Vasquez don't fight Mexican style from what the definition that they gave, and he's actually Mexican. Canelo, Mikey Garcia, they don't fight Mexican style. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's just all out brawling or whatever the fuck. But then you have some warriors. So it's just, there's no Mexican style. Like, stop it. There's no black style. You know what I mean? You can make, like, I guess some comparisons, like, to American style, or there's a lot of athletic, slick black fighters. But again, that doesn't, you can't label everyone, because James Kirkland don't fight like no fucking Dre Ward. You don't fight like Floyd Mayweather. So you can't really, that's the problem with stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? You say, oh, it's a black, he has a black style. It's black. But James Kirkland ain't fighting no slick shit. He fighting to get knocked out or knock you out. So, you know what I mean? I don't do all that labeling shit. Estrada is a fantastic Mexican boxer. I mean, Mexico has produced great boxers. See, that's what I'm saying. People don't know the history. Salvador Sanchez, that's my favorite Mexican fighter of all time. I have him number one. I think his career was just premature because he died. You know what I'm saying? What about Ricardo Finito Lopez? You know what I'm saying? Antoine Douglas isn't slick. That's what I'm saying. That's why you can't generalize some bullshit like that. Talking about black style, white style, Mexican style. I mean, it's just weird. Yeah, but see, people do that too much. Mexican style. There's a lot of Mexican fighters that I respect them to the utmost because they have showed tremendous heart. But then there's also Mexican fighters that have quit in fucking fights. Chavez Jr. Yeah, he quit in the Fonfara fight. He could have continued, look like, but he quit. So Victor Ortiz, don't say, oh, he's Mexican American, so that doesn't count. You know what I mean? But then Estrada, he was like coming from behind, and he gave everything he could in the 12th round against a dangerous puncher in Rungvisai on this Superfly 2 card. You feel me? So it's like there's no, all Mexican fighters have heart. If that's the case, then explain Chavez Jr. quitting versus Fonfara. You know what I mean? So you can't generalize shit like that. And I'm done talking about that. But anyway, back to the actual fight, Canelo Triple G. To me, it's just it's like a ploy to try to embarrass, insult Canelo and have him come out of his, I guess you want to say comfort zone, or stop using the tools that made him successful in the first fight by pissing him off and stuff. That's like the oldest trick in the book, though. You know what I mean? So Canelo is just supposed to bow down and like you like listen to. You can't tell your opponent how to fight you. That just sounds stupid. And listen, if you're a fighter, Mexicans see you sound dumb trying to out explain it. Mexican style equals come forward. Not every Mexican fighter comes forward. Okay, so Robert Guerrero, why wasn't he Mexican style and then versus Keith Thurman? And why did he not just keep coming forward like recklessly when he was getting hurt? You know what I'm saying? So stop with all that. I mean, bottom line is if you have any tool, like any of y'all went to college? Anybody got a degree? I just feel like let's say you graduate high school, you go to college and get a degree in something, and then you have a job where you might be able to get more money because of your degree. Or let's say you speak Spanish and you're bilingual and they'll pay you more because in that industry they could really use bilingual Spanish speaking associates or whatever, right? Why would you not use any asset that you've acquired? Like speaking Spanish in America, speaking Spanish, having that second language is a perk. You know what I mean? It's a perk because companies, like I said, they might be able to use that. They need to translate, So if you have the ability to speak Spanish in America, why would you not list that? They even tell you on the job application, other languages spoken. And if you speak Russian, if you speak Spanish, if you speak German, if you speak Tagalog or something like that, they want to know. The reason is so they can like basically use you to translate or help, you know what I mean, a multitude of customers. So anyway, if you have a degree or you speak a second language or you have like your training has brought you to this point, why would you not use it? Same thing with Canelo. If Canelo and his team have worked on his defense, especially since the Floyd Mayweather loss, and you've worked on these different things, then who's Golovkin to tell you to not use him or his team? Why would you listen to them anyway? You know what I'm saying? Triple G has a great jab. So you don't hear Canelo's team saying, hey, stop using that jab. Don't keep using that jab, man. You know what I mean? And see, listen, this is the thing that's kind of disrespectful to me with this whole Mexican style thing. If y'all want to hear, can I get a hell yeah? And we got to get to 200 likes. We very close. Hit the like button and can I get a hell yeah in the comment section. Those are the two things I want. I want 200 likes and I want hell yes in the comment section, huh? I'm gonna tell y'all what the disrespectful thing with this. Canelo is not, he's comfortable. Like, he is Mexican. He don't have to proclaim he's Mexican. Everyone knows he's Mexican. Well, not everyone. Like, if you look at him, maybe you don't know he is. But he's prideful, and anybody who knows his career knows he's Mexican. So he doesn't have to, like, roam around claiming Mexican style. So real talk, Canelo's not even claiming Mexican style. Because he knows he's Mexican, and he fights for his country, he fights for himself, fights for his family. La familia, right? So he's not even the one really boasting and bragging about Mexican style. Now, you look at Triple G's last two fights, he fought and was most effective with the jab. No other thing than the jab. Like, not saying he didn't throw any other power punches, but they did not look as bountiful as when he was fighting lesser competition. So the guy who's actually claiming Mexican style, or his team, him and his team, and they've coined this Mexican style, why are you just jabbing? Why did Golovkin only land 8 body shots on Canelo? What Mexican do you know that's not throwing vicious ass body shots, like body shots that make you go, ugh? You know what I'm saying? So what part of Mexican style is that? 8 body shots? Man, 8? Count how many body shots Leo Santa Cruz landed versus Eric Morale. Count how many body shots Canelo be landing versus Angulo and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, to me, it's, like I said, it's kind of like culture vulture stuff. It's like, oh, Mexican style, yeah. But so you're jabbing, that's your Mexican style. When you fought elite level competition, you're hesitating. You know what I'm saying? When Canelo was on the ropes, you're gonna hesitate. Like, David Benavidez is sweet in there. I like David Benavidez a lot. Benavidez was throwing a little bit of everything, uppies and body shots, straight shots. He looked good in the rematch. But yeah, so it's like, my point is, Canelo's not even claiming Mexican style. He knows what he is. He knows he's Mexican. Then you got a guy who's not Mexican, who's claiming Mexican, him and his team, and he fought behind a jab. It wasn't like no crazy body work and hooks and uppercuts that definition of Mexican style is known for. You know what I mean? Just because you come forward don't make you Mexican style. You know what I mean? What about the hooks? What about the vicious body attack? What about the inside phone booth where you just letting them go to the body and all that? You know what I mean? Because if we're talking about Mexican warriors, like the people that do it, that's what they do. Like, when's Triple G really throwing uppercuts? That's one of, if we're talking about, like I said, classic Mexican warriors, hooks and uppercuts and body shots, those are some of the most common if we're talking about the Mexican style stereotype. And we don't really see Golovkin doing those things. When's Golovkin throwing uppercuts? Like just standing in pocket and then, you know what I mean, then going to the body after. I don't know. I don't really remember all that. Sergio says exactly what I said, Ego. Canelo never claimed Mexican style. People label him as Mexican style because he's Mexican. Like I said, he's always been a counterpuncher boxer. Exactly. Everyone has their own style. You know what I mean? And like I said, he's not the one calling himself Mexican style. So however the fuck he chooses to fight, that's on him. Just because he's Mexican don't mean you're going to lump it in. Because like I said, I mean, real talk. Would you rather be... I hate to keep using the same person. Pedro Diaz says, Ego, stop. Come make me stop. I'll stop when you make me stop. You know what I'm saying? Keep saying stupid shit. You'll be in the hot seat real quick. Anyway, I hate to keep using Brandon Rios, but he's just a recent example of a Mexican-American fighter that we just seen his recent fight. Who would you rather be? Canelo just moved up in weight, beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and then he fought Gennady Golovkin, held his own, despite who you thought won. His face was not fucked up at the end of the fight, versus Brandon Rios. So stop with all this Mexican style, because they're both Mexican-American, and Brandon Rios just got stopped in his fight, and that was a crossroads fight. Meanwhile, Canelo, he just has to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? He just has to make adjustments, but he didn't get stopped in his fight. So, you know what I mean? People are going to fight how they can and how they want to. So what would I look like telling Canelo to... All right, we got a hot seat. I'm about to end you, boys. Jeffy Paul says, quit hating on Triple G. What did I say to hate on Triple G? And you're up. Go. Jeffy. Hardcore rapper, but he's Jeffy. Everybody get your popcorn. I promise you he won't beat me. So what did I say to hate on Triple G? See, this is what they do. They too much of the truth. They get mad, and then they just, I gotta say something. Triple G never claimed he was Mexican style. No. What did I say to hate on Triple G? That is the direct question that you, my friend, are supposed to be answering. Strike one. Don't ask me no questions. Don't ask me why I hate Triple G or stupid shit. Answer what I said to hate on Triple G. That's it. You made the assumption that I'm out here hating on Triple G. So explain it. Don't question or, hey, who's Triple G? Just answer what I said. You basically asking a question. Tell me what I said. See, when the pressure gets on, it always starts taking longer and longer because they know they don't have a point. Hey, Mr. Globs, y'all people in the hot seat, y'all got it. Y'all can't just block them like that. All the shooters, I know y'all want a confirmed kill, but y'all can't just block them in the middle of the hot seat because you know they're getting exposed. You still have to let them go through the process because then it'll seem like I'm finding some way to ban them or whatever. So you have to let them go through their trial, even though they're not gonna make it. Anyway, Jeffy, come on. What did I say? Oh, he talking about your shades? I mean, that's cool. He could talk about the shades, but he's still not proving me wrong. I don't give a fuck about shades. What's that got to do with anything? So even though he's on the verge of getting blocked, you still got to let it go through it. Come on, Jeffy Paul. What did I say? How did I hate on Golovkin? Bringing up my shades ain't going to save you. In fact, nothing can save you because you're in the hot seat. All right, now someone put him on the timer. He's clearly wasting our time. Oh my God. See, this is what happens. You're a fucking hater. You hate Triple G. What'd I say? Fuck your shades. What? Oh, Ego, you are always talking about how he ducking Charlo and he Mexican style. What did I hate on? So me bringing up the Charlo fight and me talking about my thoughts on the whole Mexican style, that's me hating on him. What did I say? Why can't you say anything specific? Why can't you say anything specific that I said to hate on someone? See, that's what's wrong with this generation. A lot of the millennials and stuff, if you say something they don't want to hear, you're hating. Despite if it's true, despite if it's facts-based, they don't care. You said something I didn't like. If I was just like, Triple G's the best ever, then that's all good. You know what I'm saying? If I say he's pound for pound number one, which I don't believe, if I said that, then it'd be all great. You said something about Triple G mama. Y'all sound stupid. I don't know his mom. I never said anything about his mom. All right, now you gotta go. We about to get you. I knew it was a matter of time. You're supposed to be explaining what I said to hate on him. You never bring up how he is good at cutting off the ring and his good jab and chin, but you praising Canelo. Now I know you're fucking lying. I've said multiple times that he has a crazy chin, right? Crazy chin. I've talked about it on Instagram, I've talked about it on YouTube, so I know you're lying there. Second of all, I just told you his jab was crazy in this live stream, so anyone watching the playback will be able to know that. Because I made the comment, I said Mexican style, I said, but you resorted to jabbing and you have a very effective jab. And I literally said, Canelo can't tell Triple G to stop using his jab, which is really good. So strike two. And then the third thing you said, oh, you didn't bring up cutting off the ring. Did he cut off the ring great against Jacobs, Canelo? He's done it good in the past against lower level opposition. Thank you for playing, my friends. Let's vote. If he got an L and didn't prove how I hated on Triple G, put your L's up. Put your L's up. This shit is too easy. You're a hater. Fuck your shades. Talk about how he's cutting off the ring. And then you're going to lie on me and say I never said Triple G had a chin. Shooter, whoever gets to him, get him out of here. Jeffy Paul. Just shave the beard, you mongoloid, and take them glasses off. See, now that's how you know they lost. Just shave the beard and take the glasses off. That's like a little kid pouting before they go to their room or after they got their ass whipped by their parents. Like, get your ass in the room. That was stupid. Just shave the beard. So my beard has anything to do with your ass getting flamed up in the hot seat. Okay. And once again, this is how you know when these motherfuckers are man fans are getting burned. You a man fan of me, it sounds like, because why would you care about my facial hair? Like, I don't get it. Why do you care what facial hair I choose to have? That's weird. Oh, just shave the beard and pluck your eyebrows. Like, what? You giving suggestions to another grown-ass man on what he should do with his facial features. Fucking take the glass off, show us your eyes. Anywho, another one bites the dust. That's how you know when someone got killed. You're talking about shave the beard. What? You like me better with no beard? Fucking fruity ass nigga. Anywho, back to boxing. You're right. Another hot seat victim that just couldn't make it. Oh man, let's talk about Pacquiao because he was in the title too. I think Pacquiao should retire. It's not looking good for Pacquiao. Like it's just too much shit going on. I think he should retire. So, LA Times, they did an interview with Freddie Roach. He said he called Pacquiao like 5 times and Pacquiao was like forwarding his call or didn't answer or whatever. So now Freddie Roach is saying he's never gotten back with me. The fight's April 14th. It's supposed to be. I think it's going to be Mike Alvarado from what I've been hearing for a long time since last year. And it's about to be March. Is it March today? When is... I don't know. It's about to be March because I know Wilder fights March 3rd. So we're creeping up on March. I mean, they're going to have to figure that out. No, I'm not going to LA for the millionth time. I see you keep asking. I'm not going to the Canelo thing in LA. But anyway, yeah, so Freddie Roach is basically explained and expressed that he doesn't know where he stands with Pacquiao, basically. Like if he'll be training him, which is weird. But I don't know. Things change. Relationships change. Maybe after the Jeff Horn fight, he admitted that he felt set up in some kind of way. Maybe he didn't like the advice Freddie Roach was giving him in the Jeff Horn fight. I don't know. So, yeah, man. I don't know. I think Pacquiao should retire. Hopefully he manages money. I mean, he got a lot of money from see, the other thing is Pacquiao, to me, I mean, I'm not in his finances like that. I don't really care. But just from what I've seen, I think he could have created his own promotional entity so he stopped having people in his pockets. Pacquiao, see, I don't just say shit. Like, I pay attention to the history. Pacquiao had old managers who he had to take to court and sue him because they were, like, tapping into his money and not giving him what he was rightfully due. You know what I mean? And then that was before the Top Rank situation. So it seems like he would have learned from situations like that and, you know what I mean, making all this money in the Mayweather fight and having to pay out people or pay out more people. It seems like it would have been decided. Hey, shooters, look through the comments, find this Pedro dude. If he's saying crazy stuff, just annihilate him. You know what I mean? So I think Pacquiao would have been, because it sounds like he's disrupting people. Thank you. Thank you, Portia. Yeah, so I think Pacquiao should have been done his own thing, but now it's late in his career. So I think he should have been his own promoter. And now it's like he's getting, like, according to Bob Arum, Manny Pacquiao needs to choose between Terrence Crawford and Lomachenko. All right? That's a fucked up choice if you think about it. Like, if you think about it, Lomachenko's a good fighter. Crawford's definitely not the fight. If Crawford gets past Jeff Horn, right? Shout out to Courtney Douglas. Yo, what up, Ego? Just now joining. So, I mean, it's a fucked up choice because I'm not saying he has absolutely no shot, but losing to Jeff Horn and then beating Mike Alvarado, that's not really preparing you for either guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mike Alvarado is not squirrely like Lomachenko, right? And he's damn sure fights nothing like Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? Way to give Jeff Horn a chance. See, some of y'all are cornballs. Like, y'all care. It's my opinion. I don't think Jeff Horn's gonna win. I'm not gonna act like. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all expect me to just not be truthful in my thoughts. If Jeff Horn wins, then it won't be the first prediction that I got wrong. I don't see him winning though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's better than Terrence Crawford. I don't think he has more skill. I don't think he has something that Crawford has never seen in the amateur pro. You mad about it? Oh, way to give Jeff Horn an opportunity to win. Like, I don't think he's gonna win. Deal with it. If I'm proven wrong, great. Then that's what it is. I don't think he's gonna win. Y'all be mad as fuck at my opinion. How could you say that? How could you say that Jeff Horn will lose? Like, I don't think he's gonna beat Crawford. But anyway, like I said, if he wins, he wins. But anyway, like I said with the Pacquiao situation, Mike Alvarado ain't really preparing you for either guy, and I told y'all with the top ranked patterns, Bob Arum wins either way because let's say Pacquiao beats Lomachenko, then they'll be like, oh, Pacquiao's back. If Crawford knocks out Pacquiao, then oh look, we told you we had a star from Omaha. If Pacquiao beats Crawford, then they'll say, oh, this was considered the next Floyd Mayweather. Look what Pacquiao did. You know what I mean? But either way, they're both tough fights for Pacquiao, well, all things considered. So, I don't know. But Bob Arum, he ain't losing. He winning either way. So, it's just kind of fucked up for Pacquiao. See, he should have been his own boss by now. See, people always clown Mayweather's a fucking woman beater. He beat up his wife. All that shit. But Mayweather's a boss. That motherfucker just bought a Rolls Royce, 2018 Rolls Royce for his birthday. He's still a boss. Pacquiao got to ask permission. Pacquiao talking about he want to fight Matisse. Matisse say he want to fight him. Bob Arum say no, maybe later, but not now. Why? I mean, if both motherfuckers want to fight each other, and you're trying to put this on ESPN pay-per-view, and I know for a fact we can do a vote right now, more people would probably be willing to pay for Pacquiao Matisse as part of the Crawford Horn pay-per-view than Pacquiao versus Mike Alvarado. So that just goes to show you he has his own agenda, own promotional thing, probably to save some money, cut money, not cut another promoter out. So, you know what I mean? They get full credit. But yeah, I mean, listen, Christian, one of my shooters, wants to vote. Put the last name of the guy out of those two choices that you would rather see Pacquiao face. On the Crawford Horn card, would you rather see Pacquiao versus Lucas Matisse or Pacquiao versus Mike Alvarado? Go. Just put the last name. Matisse or Alvarado. Who would you rather see him fight? Look, Matisse, Lucas, Matisse. See, exactly. So, I mean, look, I didn't see one person put Alvarado. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to discover that the fans would be more, because the people in here, you're here for boxing. You're here to talk about boxing. You're here for the love of the sport. Exactly. And literally everyone said Matisse, but Bob Arum said no to it. But according to Pacquiao, he wants that. According to Matisse, since he won the WBA regular belt, he called for the Pacquiao fight. So both the fighters won. That's why Pacquiao should have been his own boss. And then he wouldn't have to be 39 years old talking about it's up to my promoter Bob Arum, and I do want to fight. I want to fight Lucas Matisse. Like, he wouldn't have to be doing that. He would just be able to, like, boom, Matisse, you up. I do believe that Mike Alvarado, that fight can happen. You know what I mean? Now you have to ask for permission and shit. Y'all tripping with the 222 shit. Yeah, I mean, it's like living with your parents, or like when you move out. When you move out, you do your own thing. You don't have to, you know what I mean, come in when you want, no curfew or whatever. But that's what the fighters, like Jay-Z said, smarten up, Nas. Smarten up, Pacquiao. Like, you gotta do what's right for your career. You guys like this guy? Beat up his wife in front of his kid. You guys like this guy? Woman beater? Woman beater, man. He was tripping. That shit was hella funny. I was dying. Oscar De La Hoya was hella embarrassed because he Mexican, Mexican American, and then you had a Mexican American on stage doing all that. You guys like this guy? Woman beater, baby. Yeah, okay, okay, Ruben. Okay, shut up, Ruben. Okay. De La Hoya was hella embarrassed. That shit was hella funny. You know when someone makes the raza, when someone makes la raza look bad, they make the race look bad. You're like, okay, you do just like De La Hoya. Like if you black and then you see a murderer, serial killer and shit, and you find out on the news they black, like fuck, one of us. You know what I mean? Or if you're Mexican, you find out the serial killer Mexican, like god damn it, like Jose, why you have to kill them people, making us look bad? Or even in the fight, you know what I'm saying? You Mexican American, Victor Ortiz quit. You're like, god damn it, Victor. I don't know, dude. I just feel I'm a tree bro, and I haven't been right since the Expendables, since the Floyd Mayweather fight. Victor Ortiz from Kansas sound like a surfer. He's funny. That motherfucker blocked me on Instagram hella long ago. I'm a tree bro. You're literally talking to a tree, bro. that makes absolutely no sense. When you say literally, then that means so you're actually a tree. So, motherfucker, you got branches and bark and shit. You can't say you're literally talking to a tree, bro, because then that wouldn't be literal, Victor. I'm trying to help you with your grammar. He did that interview talking about, I don't know, but you're literally talking to a tree, bro. Like this, it's not literal. That doesn't even make fucking sense right now. That's like me saying, I'm like a car, dude. You're literally talking to an automobile, man. So you're an actual car. You're not even a person. You're a car. That motherfucker said he's a tree. That's how I knew some shit. This shit wasn't registered. If a motherfucker's willing to call himself a eucalyptus tree, there's something not connecting, right? You're literally talking to a tree, bro. Like what? Fuck does that even mean? But shout out to Victor Ortiz, man, and that Devin Alexander robbery. Now I did think Devin won the fight though, but I mean Victor Ortiz didn't do bad. You know what I'm saying? Ego, Kovalev versus Ward is pointless in my opinion. It's not pointless in my opinion. Let Kovalev get that work. Because listen, I feel you in terms of I don't think Kovalev would win the third fight. So in that regard, it's pointless because then if Ward beats his ass 3 times, then you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the, you know what I mean? It's like, what does that really do other than paycheck and stuff like that? But it's not pointless because Kovalev and his fans keep making excuses about being robbed. I seen the interview or something. Kovalev was talking about like it would be a Ward victory if the referee, like no, I don't blame the referee, but I mean since he's taking that route and he won't admit that Ward beat him, then all's fair. Let Dre get a cool couple million to come back out of retirement, settle the score, have a trilogy. But see, I'm Kovalev. See, this is a situation like this. Kovalev is going to make it worse for himself because if he loses, especially if he loses worse, there's literally there's nothing you can do and or say if you lose to Dre a third time, and the motherfucker retired briefly. There's nothing you could do or say. They're like, you first fight, oh, son of judges. Okay, cool. Everyone laughed, tee-hee, motherfucker, son of judges. Then now it's son of ref. What are you gonna say if he stops you again? So to me, it's more dangerous for Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? Like, were you gonna blame Ward's gloves or something? Son of Grant, like what? Son of Grant gloves, motherfucker. Like, who can you blame at that point? You can't have a reason why you lost 3 fights. Son of judges, son of the ref, son of gloves. Like, it's done. There is no more people to blame. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, listen, go check the record. After the War Kovalev 2, I told you Kovalev's next move. Listen, if y'all want to hear how I told y'all, can I get a hell yeah? If I told you, I predicted this shit. Someone said son of gloves. No, I'm just saying, who else is there to blame for it? Son of weather. Like, who you gonna blame? It was too dry and humid. Like, there's no one else to blame. Can I get a hell yeah? If y'all want, man, my live streams we be yeah, trick, yeah, we be having fun in my live stream. See, that's what I'm saying. They don't do it like us, baby. Ego Army, we out here. We doing it. Ego Army, man. Ego Mafia. We are the mob. Money on top of body. That's why they hate. That's why they hit the dislikes. That's why they still be talking about me. And they've been blocked for 2-3 years from the channel because they not part of it. They're not part of the community. They can't comment and shit because you got blocked. But anyway, here, I'm gonna explain this to you. Y'all tripping. Son of lights. Wow, y'all tripping. I'm just saying that to me it's more dangerous for Kovalev, for sure. Because because he can't afford to lose, that means he won none of them. You know what I mean? Son of body shot. Y'all gotta chill with these comments, man. But anyway, I'm gonna explain how I told y'all and I predicted this thing. Best boxing channel on YouTube, facts. Salute to you. This is how I predicted it. Go check the videos. After Ward Kovalev 2, I told you specifically in them videos, what Kovalev decides to do next will really let us know and shed light on what he really feels went on in that ring. Meaning, if you know that you lost and the only reason you lost was because you got cheated, like some low blow, nutcracker, all that shit, son of groin, all that bullshit y'all saying, if that's how you really felt, then you would have no problem jumping right back in the mix with a top level name. If you really and truly felt that you were robbed, you were doing great in the fight, you had no stamina issues, and the ref cheated you out of a victory or premature stoppage. And we seen what Kovalev did. No longer working with John David Jackson, signed number fucking 1. What happened? What, you know what I mean? Why did it boil over after you lost twice to Andre Ward? You know what I mean? The shit was started to fall apart and the truth started to seep out. That's one, you switch trainers, right? 2, you fought a guy that Andre Ward beat, and that guy, Sullivan Barrera, beat the guy you just fought. And you fought him for a vacant title. Sullivan Barrera beat Shabransky when he was undefeated, knocked him down 3 times, and that's who you choose to fight. Now you're fighting Igor McKelkin as a main event. So once again, if Kovalev had received no damage in that fight, and the only reason he lost is what you guys say, son of groin, nutcracker Ward, and dick shot Ward, all that, then why did he take a fight like Shabransky when there's top-notch competition? Bevo, Sullivan Barrera, Alexander Vodzdik, Marcus Brown's looking good, Anthony Yard, you know what I'm saying? There's just too many light heavyweight. Joe Smith Jr. I would have rather see Kovalev versus Joe Smith Jr. than Shabransky, right? So again, those things, and now you're fighting Igor McKelkin. So to me, he's definitely fighting like a fighter who took back-to-back losses and trying to get things back in gear. Son of Uber, who's fighting Uber? Yeah, y'all funny as shit tonight. This is funny. So yeah, I mean, if like I said, like, okay, here's an example. George Groves was fighting Carl Froch and arguably winning. Fact, right? That was a good fight, the first fight. He got hurt and then the referee prematurely stopped it. So in his mind, he was like, fuck that. And he took I think an immediate rematch versus Carl Froch because in his mind he felt he got robbed, like it was a premature stoppage or whatever. So that's why he was comfortable taking the Carl Froch immediate rematch because he didn't think he was going to lose to him, even though he got knocked out in the rematch to Kovalev. I mean to Carl Froch, right? But Kovalev is doing what a fighter who's taken back-to-back losses would do, especially a stoppage loss. Switch trainer. What happened to Mir Khan when Danny Garcia knocked out? Switch trainers. Went to Virgil Hunter, someone who could teach him some different shit. Now Kovalev's with this Olympian trainer that speaks his native tongue. Train, maybe teach him some different shit from John David Jackson, right? What did Amir Khan do? Fought Carlos Molina, 135 pounder at 140. That's basically what Kovalev did, but he fought someone in his weight class, but it was a guy who had recently lost by stoppage. New media taking over. Love the channel. Ego always 100. I'm glad y'all enjoy it, man. We just talked that real boxing shit. So anyway, this is the thing. I'm not mad at Kovalev. He should be taking baby steps like Igor McKelkin. The only thing I resent is the denial. You're saying that you weren't affected and you weren't fatigued and Ward didn't have a great game plan and you were just doing well for yourself, and then all of a sudden the fight was taken for you. That's what you're trying to portray. But if that was the case, like I told you, why would you have to take baby steps after that? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you immediately fight Andre Ward again before he retired? Say, hey, I want to fight you again. Let's go. You know what I mean? Same thing with Chocolatito. The reason why he fought Rung Visai is because a lot of people were on his side saying, hey, you beat this guy. You really won. You know what I mean? So he probably thought he was going to beat him. I mean, it didn't work out in his favor, but he at least thought that. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't see Sergey Kovalev just jump back in the mix of top-notch light heavyweight names, Adonis Stevenson or Badu Jack. He went for a Shabransky fight. So that lets me know that he's building himself back up. Hey, mods, please don't block them. So that's my thoughts on the whole thing. So, I mean, I feel where you're coming from, but Ward Kovalev 3, I don't mind if it happens. Cool paycheck for both of them. See if anything changes. And it's just because people are making excuses. You know what I mean? People are making excuses about what happened in the third fight. So as long as there's excuses or whatever out there, then you can justify the fight happening again. I'm sure HBO would pay for it. People would still watch. So that's just my 2 cents. Jeff Horn, explain how who is Jeff Horn? Let me put him in the hot seat. Y'all keep arguing with this motherfucker. What is he talking about? Jeff Horn, who got robbed? I want to put you in the hot seat because you seem to be aggravating everybody in this stream. See, I'm getting to the level in the hot seat. I don't even have to know this topic all the time. I'll still challenge you in the hot seat because I know if you're making that many people mad, that many real boxing fans, you're probably saying something stupid. So let's do this hot seat, Jeff. Who was robbed? Please explain this. Who got robbed? In what fight? What are we talking about? Okay, now it's time to get bodied. Okay, so explain how Kovalev got robbed. Okay, first of all, my first question to you is, what is a robbery? Just define a robbery and then explain using your definition of how he got robbed. So, 2-part, my opening statement or opening question, 2-part. Define what a boxing robbery is, not like a armed robbery at 7-Eleven, a boxing robbery, right? And then explain how it fits that fight, Ward Kovalev 1, Kovalev Ward 1, fits that criteria. And we're off to the races. With Give Me Time. In the words of Denzel, a man of fire, I wish you had more time. Get to typing. I wish you had more time. See, and the funny thing is, y'all be faking so bad because you were typing 1,000 comments to different people and had multiple conversations going, and now you're like, hey, give me more time. Like I said, Denzel style. I wish you had One thing. A boxing robbery. Oh wow. A boxing robbery is the opposite of what is actually happened. That is a horrible definition. Very vague. A boxing robbery is the opposite of what actually has happened. This is gonna be an easy hot seat. I can already tell just by your definition. Sound atrocious. That sounds like something a third grader could come up with. What's a robbery? The opposite. It's the opposite of the truth. It's the opposite. Everything's different than what it seems. Like, what? Are you saying song lyrics? It's different than it appears. Objects are closer than they appear. Like, what? And Kovalev got robbed because he swept the first 5 rounds plus the knockdown. At most, it should have been a draw. All right. First of all, I was at the fight. Second of all, he didn't sweep shit, but maybe the T-Mobile Arena, he wasn't sweeping shit where it was like so definitive. Maybe the first 2 rounds, you could say he definitely got with no if, ands, buts about it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. He came out real crispy, good jab, caught Ward. That's 1-10-8 round. What part do you guys not understand? Juan Manuel Marquez fought Manny Pacquiao in the first fight, got dropped 3 times in the first round, still fought to a draw. Lamont Peterson got knocked down at least 2 times versus Victor Ortiz and fought to a draw. So Ward winning on all 3 judges' scorecards by 1 round does not constitute as a robbery because all 3 judges had us close. This is not like Canelo Triple G where one scorecard was way off and someone had a 118 to 110 scorecard. Like, how the fuck did you get that? Because like Canelo Triple G, Adelaide Bird's scorecard is not applicable to either fighter. 10 rounds to 2. Triple G didn't win 10 rounds, and Canelo damn sure didn't win 10 rounds either. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. So once again, you've already proven yourself to be a casual. You're a casual because you're taking a close fight and you're amplifying it and exaggerating it to fit your narrative. The guy you did want to win did not win, and the guy you didn't want to win won. So as a result, you're gonna amplify it, blow it up, make it into some crazy like conspiracy. That's the difference. He won by 1 round. 3 judges unanimously decided that he won by 1 round. That's far from a robbery because some of them, unlike what the dumbass shit you said, talking about Kovalev swept the first 5 rounds. First of all, fights are 12 rounds. So I don't know how good you are with math. I'm not the smartest brother in the world. But if Kovalev swept the first 5 rounds, right, what happened to half of 12 is 6. You know what I mean? So technically, Ward, even with the knockdown, what if somebody had him winning the round 6 on? You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways to look at it. Plus, if we really were to analyze this and really watch them, I wish we could have like a big screen. I'm sure a lot of people in this chat would not give Kovalev every single one of the first 5 rounds. I was at the fight and I don't remember that ever happening. I don't remember him getting 5 rounds straight. So stop it. Stop it. And he started getting tired, just not as bad as the second fight. Probably because Ward was a little bit jittery, maybe early, you know, or not even jittery, but he had to be cautious because obviously the dude has proven he's been able to put you down, so he had to be cautious. And the same Ward couldn't sweep all that last 6, but it's a 12-round fight. Kovalev did great in 2 rounds, and then a lot of the other rounds were up for grabs, depending on what you like. So what are you talking about sweeping the last 6? The definitive Kovalev did not have any round that was better than his second round. Name 1 round that he had that trumped his second round. None. He had no rounds that were better than his second round. So with that being considered, that means especially the second half of the fight, they were up for grabs, a lot of those rounds. But again, you're a man fan, just admit it. You like Kovalev and you wanted him to win, most likely. But like I said, the people calling that, listen, if you call it a robbery, like, this is how I know you're a man fan. The HBO guy had Kovalev. Well, you're not an HBO guy. This is how I know. If y'all want me to expose and prove how he's a man fan, say hell yeah. Let me get this dude up out of here. Let me do my neck stretches. Hold on. Can I get a hell yeah? I'm about to get this man fan up out of here. All I need is a hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna show you how he's a man fan. Because you notice people like myself that are keeping it real with the situation. I'm not mad if you had Kovalev winning. If you had Kovalev winning a tight fight, right? I didn't see it like that. But see, I'm willing to accept that it was a difficult fight to score. I'm willing to accept that different judges or different spectators may have seen certain rounds different for different guys. So maybe it could be different. But you notice all these guys screaming robbery in favor of Kovalev. They are not willing to suggest or say in a very close fight that was hard to score that it could be any other scenario other than their scenarios. Like me personally, like Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn. I personally had Pacquiao beating Jeff Horn, right? But I'm not of the thinking where, even though I thought Pacquiao won, I'm not willing to say like it was a robbery, like as in Jeff Horn didn't do anything, because Pacquiao, he actually fought a dumb fight. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes, they are so, he says lie again. What's the lie? Like, I don't get it. What's the lie? What's the lie? That's what I'm saying. These dudes are so, it just shows their innate bias, because they're not willing to even suggest it just was robbery or nothing. So some of those rounds, let's say round 7, 8, 9, there's no way Ward won it. You said I'm not able to admit it could have gone either way. You're not, because if you were, then you wouldn't be calling it a robbery. What don't you understand? How is it a robbery if you admit that it could have went other way? See, you should have stopped while you were ahead. I just slaughtered you with your own response. You called me a liar for saying you weren't willing to see that it could have went either way, and then you said that's a lie. So then you are willing to admit that it could have gone either way, which in turn then it couldn't have been a robbery. So you just caught yourself up with words. you just lost. You burned yourself up in the hot seat. I just gave you the gasoline. Obviously, I was exaggerating my point by adding robbery. See, we don't have time for your exaggerated point. You're in the hot seat arguing for robbery. So, remember that meme when the girl was just like, that's how I feel. What the fuck are you even saying? She didn't even have nothing in her hand. She was just like, what the fuck are you saying then? You're in the hot seat arguing for robbery, and then now you copping a plea, backtrack and talking about, oh, I exaggerated a robbery. Get this boy out of here, man. Y'all sound crazy. That's like me saying, oh, so and so, he murdered that person, and then we get to court and they be like, okay, prove your case. How do you know that Canelo murdered this person and killed him in broad daylight? Oh, I was just exaggerating murder. What? So you get to court and then reveal that the guy you're accusing of murder, oh, I was just exaggerating. So, you know what I mean? All this Me Too shit. If a girl took me to court and she was like, yeah, Ego raped me. He fucking raped me. He took it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Yeah, you did. And then we get to court and she's like, oh, I was exaggerating this whole rape thing. I just wanted to say he kept asking for my phone number. Get the fuck out of here. Get these dudes out of here. Get them out of my arena. You talking about I was just exaggerating. Your whole basis of your argument was supposed to be that Kovalev got robbed. And then when I hunt you down and pin you to a corner, then you backtrack and you cop pleas. I know for a fact some of y'all would turn state's evidence and be snitches, because y'all always copping pleas. Straight up. Your whole thing was arguing a robbery, and then he gonna switch it. I was exaggerating that it was a robbery. Then why you call it a robbery? See, and that's what they do. They want, that proves he's a man fan. Because why would you have to exaggerate something to make your point? You feel me? Like, if you knew it was a close fight, why couldn't you say, "Oh, it was a close fight. I had Kovalev winning"? No one would be mad at that. But when you're like, "Oh, fucking Dre cheated and he's a nutcracker and he had to cheat in the first fight. It's a robbery," then that's something different. Wasted everyone's time, man. Get these dudes out of my arena, man. They're not fit to compete. They're not fit for competition. This dude making me hate Jeff Horn. This is crazy, man. This is what I deal with. I just exaggerate. So after you press charges, I just exaggerated it was a robbery. It really wasn't. That's why you in the hot seat. Get out of here. Wasted everybody's time. Anyway, the Ward Kovalev fight, good fight. The first one. The second one was a good fight too, but the first one was more like tooth and nail type shit. This is what I'm saying. These dudes, that's exactly what they exaggerate. At least he kept it real when he copped the plea at the end. Like, damn, Andre Ward knocked Kovalev's dick off. He's a fucking nutcracker. SOG, son of grind. And then you're like, okay, prove it. What are you talking about? No, I'm just exaggerating. It was on the belt line. But still, I just wanted to say he knocked his dick off. Like, get out of here. Either was a massive low blow and he knocked his dick off and all this, and cracked his nuts and his huevos and all this shit, or not. It's not. I was just exaggerating this whole thing. Son of crying still can't accept that L. Y'all funny with these son of names. This is funny. But anyway, someone said he would just perjure himself. Yeah, it's straight perjury. But just like court, this is where we take him. We take him to the courtroom. You ain't just gonna say no crazy stuff. It has to hold up in court. And we gotta make sure the evidence is actually admissible in court. Did Estrada get robbed? Hell no. I didn't see a robbery in that fight. Thought it was a good fight, but Estrada, to me, he has himself to blame. Because in the middle rounds, he wasn't doing enough of what he did in the 12th round. If he would have did that a little bit more, then you can argue this robbery. But him and Chocolatito hating right now, talking about, oh, it was a clear win. You just mad the guy that knocked you out got the victory still. So even though Estrada, he has a fight with Chocolatito too, but you want a decision versus Estrada. You know what I mean? You know, I don't understand. Like, I really feel like fighters, when they fight each other, I don't know what it is, but they always develop this crazy affinity for the fighter where it's like it makes them jaded. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, Floyd Mayweather fought Robert Guerrero. So when Robert Guerrero fought Danny Garcia, it was like Floyd was he was at the fight and he was giving his breakdown, and it just seemed like super leaning towards the guy he fought. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, it was a draw. Robert Guerrero won the fight. Like, what? I thought Danny Garcia handedly won the fight. You know what I mean? Or since Floyd fought Canelo, when it comes to the Triple G talk, he seems like it's just like super Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed these fighters do that. It's like the guy they fought, they always, like Sean Porter recently said that Keith Thurman is better than Errol Spence Jr. Which, I mean, that's his opinion, but that's conveniently, again, the guy you fought. Danny Garcia says, I think the same thing, said that Thurman's better right now than Errol Spence. So it just seems like, to me, the guys that they've already shared the ring with, they seem to be more partial to them. That's just something I notice in boxing. Yeah, that could be it, because they don't want to diminish their own win. But yeah, I don't know. I just call it what I see, like how I see. And it's funny because a lot of people saying Errol Spence is lesser than Keith Thurman. But, you know, it's funny. Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, they could say that all day, but that's not obviously doing nothing for Keith Thurman to make him want to make the fight this year. So it's like they can boost him up because they shared the ring with him, or whatever, state their opinion on who would win and who's the better fighter. But at the end of the day, it's not giving Keith Thurman the immediate confidence. Yeah, but see, I don't judge boxing like that. Like, I mean, okay, put it this way. A lot of times I will go off of who's more proven and stuff like that. But like, for example, Dimitri Bivol, he can beat Sullivan Barrera, but Barrera is way more proven. I'm not, because Barrera, to me, he has a chance too. But Barrera's chin, I don't know if Bevo's power is really what it's looking like it has been against lesser guys. I don't really know. Then he definitely might beat a Barrera. So sometimes you have to take that leap of faith and take that plunge where even though a guy might be more accomplished and proven, you still have to go off of what you your inklings and gut feeling. And, you know, I mean, boxing's weird like that. Like Errol Spence, I picked him to beat Kell Brook, but you could easily say at that point, Sean Porter and Golovkin fights were better than anything that Errol Spence had, but I still pick Errol Spence. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree that every single time the more proven, because Keith Thurman is more proven, that he can't lose to Errol Spence. Because you got to keep in mind with boxing, Keith Thurman, he was avoided probably at some point, but then it got to a point where he wasn't as avoided. So certain fights were made versus Errol Spence. He's having to show his ass and call out people, and he's still not getting the fights. So he's at a different chapter of his career. So him not having to let him tell it, he probably would have been fought Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero. You know what I mean? You don't think Errol Spence, if Robert Guerrero was offered to fight the Omar Figueroa fight, if they offered that to Errol Spence, you don't think Spence would have took it? You know what I'm saying? So some of it's about opportunity. Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, they've all been given opportunities to face the best. Errol Spence, not as much. I mean, Kell Brook, yes, but so I can't just say Keith Thurman. I can say, listen, this is how I'll say it. Keith Thurman is the man until proven otherwise, just because he has the two belts. But I think Errol Spence beats him. You know what I'm saying? I think Errol Spence beats Keith Thurman. But I still got to see it because, again, Keith Thurman's a great champion and he has two belts. So, you know what I mean? I'm not disrespecting Keith, but it's just like the Kell Brook situation. Yes, Kell Brook had a better resume. Fighting Golovkin and Sean Porter was better than the names Errol Spence had, but I still pick Errol Spence in my 7 reasons to beat Kell Brook. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you have to go with your gut. If Wilder gets past Luis Ortiz, which I think he'll beat him, especially if he does it sensational, I think he'll beat Anthony Joshua. So Joshua still has Klitschko, and then if he beats Joseph Parker, you could say, oh, okay, his resume is better, right? But that doesn't change. I still would pick Wilder to beat Joshua. So I don't think it's just about only resume. Sometimes you have to go with your gut on what you see, and styles make fights. Y'all, I see y'all talking about Amir Khan versus Errol Spence Jr. I don't like that fight for him. I don't think that's a good fight for him. You know what I mean? Especially if he looks like he's not in total control versus Phil LaGreco, then that's the wrong fight. Errol Spence just puts too much pressure on you. You see, and to me, what I've seen from Khan, he doesn't have footwork like Mayweather where he's gonna stay out of trouble. He has fast feet, but it's not like, to me, it's not like fast, educated feet. Like Floyd is a master class boxer. Like he knows where he's at all points in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows exit routes. He knows when to walk towards you, when to fight flat-footed. I don't think Khan, his footwork is not like that to me. He's like, it's like part of his ring IQ. Like I said, he has fast feet, but I don't think it's like defensively as sound like a Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like the punch he got hit with, the feint he fell for, and all that. Where's the Canelo? When did you see Floyd ever really take major shots like that versus Canelo? They both fought the guy. You know what I mean? So Floyd, his defense and stuff is just on another level. So if Khan were to fight Errol Spence Jr., very difficult fight because, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I think Khan has more speed and he boxes different than Lamont Peterson, but I would say they're probably in the same echelon of power. And Errol Spence, when he fought Lamont Peterson, he got hit with a couple cool shots. You know what I mean? Peterson took a couple stands, and Errol Spence was laughing and shit. I was like, what the fuck? So I don't know. I don't know that Khan's power. Maybe his speed, we'll have to see, but I don't know if Khan's power would be enough to deter a guy like Errol Spence Jr. But like I said, that speed maybe can bother him. But I just think Errol Spence is he's gaining too much momentum. To me, honestly, this sounds crazy because people like Leonard Bundu and other people have said that Keith Thurman hits harder than Errol Spence Jr., which may be true. Which is weird that Bundu said that because Bundu, when he fought Spence, he got stretched, and then when Thurman fought him, he got dropped and then survived. But maybe Thurman does hit harder per capita. I don't know because he throws kind of awkward. But I still think Thurman's a very dangerous fight for Khan too. But I think Amir Khan would do better versus Keith Thurman than Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence is the harder style matchup. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's a harder style matchup for him because Khan struggles with pressure. Maidana was not even with Robert Garcia, and his pressure and presence and stuff was able to complicate things for Khan, right? Chris Algieri came out like he was some Triple G type fighter and put a lot of pressure, and he's not even a like big puncher. That was his first fight at welterweight, right? And he was even clipping Khan with certain shots. So I think the pressure style that'll hurt Khan more than the way Keith Thurman fights. But again, Keith Thurman's a dangerous fight. Keith Thurman might knock Khan out too if he catches him. If Luis Ortiz KOs Wilder, do you think AJ Eddie will duck him to the same extent of doing Wilder? Yeah, I don't see them rush. They'll probably make. They put it this way: if Luis Ortiz pulls the upset and knocks out Wilder, he's not next for AJ. I really don't see it. Same thing with Wilder. If he looks sensational and bow knocks out Ortiz, I don't think Wilder is gonna get the fight next. I think Eddie Hearn's gonna do exactly what he said and put AJ, if he beats Joseph Parker and Gerald Big Baby Miller wins, he's gonna match them together, right? And if it's not him, it'll probably be like Povetkin if he wins. Ego, I just heard Pacquiao just fired Freddie Roach. I don't know if it's official, but I did a video about it. I don't know if you heard anything like in the last hour, but I did a video about it. It's kind of up in the air to the last time I checked if Freddie Roach is going to be working with him. Ego, what do you think of people saying that Wilder can't sell out the Barclays? I don't really think anything about it. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, Ego's army, man, like, we got to stand for something. And, like, people get so infatuated, like, they're the promoters. You don't have stock in what's the twin brothers from the Barclays or whatever? Michael or whatever, Mac, whatever is Michael York, whatever the fuck his name is. He's in charge of the Barclays. You're not. Why do fans care about? Oh, Wilder can't sell out the bar. He's not the motherfucker. Not from New York. You know what I'm saying? He's not fighting in Alabama, so him not selling out the Barclays, I don't really care. I care like that's cool to talk about viewership and all that, and I want to see boxing fights sell out and do well in America, but I care more that it's a good ass fight. You know what I'm saying? But people were like so content with the business side that they let that overshadow the true. It's just like Christmas. Christmas is not about just buying people gifts and spending money. Christmas is supposed to be about something deeper. Spending time with family, being grateful, being thankful. That's why I hate seeing them fucking videos of a badass kid like, why'd you buy me clothes, mom? Fuck you. I don't want this. Like, really? You know what I mean? Like, Christmas is supposed to be about something deeper. And I look about the boxing the same way. Like, numbers and paychecks and shit we don't get a cut of, all that stuff is cool, but I don't really care about that more than I care about boxing. You know, of course I want boxing to do well and do great numbers and all that, but I care more about, I'm just happy we're getting to see Wilder Ortiz. truth be told, because it looked like the fight got shitted on the first time with the failed drug test. So I'm just happy it's coming around months later, and it should be a good fight. Ego, you think Pacquiao should have got rid of Roach or Arum? I don't really know. I mean, I think I'm not saying he should have got rid of Arum, but he should at least created Pacquiao Promotions where he's like managing his own career and maybe co-promoting. That's what Cotto. You notice Cotto did that. Cotto had co-promoters. Cotto, when he did Sergio Martinez fight, that was a top ranked fight. But Cotto still had Cotto Promotions. So that's why even though he had like lost to Floyd and lost to Austin Trout, and Cotto started working with Top Rank again, and built him up like the Delvin Rodriguez fight, the Daniel Gill, and then the Sergio Martinez. But that's why he dipped out and left and went to Rock Nation after that fight, because he was just kind of bouncing around. He had the freedom to do that. So Pacquiao definitely should have been in a position where he's able to do that. Like, okay, I can't get the fights I want. Bob Arum trying to like prevent me fighting Matisse, and that's the best move for me. Then he should have did that. Freddie Roach seems like a good guy, but I mean, he's on a bad losing streak, and I kind of question like what he's teaching people at this point. He just seems like more offensive. Pacquiao already has a good offense. He need to work on being smart in there. And again, I don't know why Pacquiao is getting rid. If he does get rid of Roach, I don't know what's the reason. So I can't really make that judgment call. Roach seems to have doubted Pacquiao in a couple interviews. Well, he told the motherfucker to retire, and he didn't. So maybe they don't see eye to eye anymore. I don't know. Hey, Ego, what do you think of the fact that some people consider Wilder the underdog in the fight? I don't know who some people are. Like, last time I heard, like, the officials, like, betting lines and stuff, Wilder's the favorite, so I don't know who these people you say are. I mean, I don't really care about stuff like that anyway. You know what I mean? Some people may have said Errol Spence Jr. was the underdog versus Kell Brook because he didn't have a name on his resume like Kell Brook. But what happened when they fought? So I don't really get caught up. I don't really care about none of that. I don't. That's why when I'm doing 7 reasons and some people, you pick the favorite. I pick who I think is gonna win. That's it. I don't even sports bet. I don't know nothing about that. I don't check on it or anything. You know what I mean? Unless there's like some news flash I seen where it's talking about odds. I don't really know how that all that works. I go off of what I've seen from the fighters. So I'm not really worried about who people think will win. Saturday we're gonna find out. Ego, you see Crawford Spence going the distance when they fight? Man, well, I'm gonna hold off on that question because that's a big if. Like I said, my thing is this. I'm very consistent. I gotta see Top Rank work with Al Heyman to put together a big fight where guys have something to lose. Like, not Al Heyman putting John Molina with Terrence Crawford, who had multiple losses, who had been outboxed before. You know what I mean? Or an undefeated guy like Felix Diaz versus Terrence Crawford, but Felix Diaz is not a big name in the welterweight division considered. Like, so I have to see them guys all work together. You know what I mean? I have not seen any indication other than a couple of interviews from Arum said he would love to make it happen, but I take stuff like that with a grain of salt because I told y'all with this whole Jorge Linares versus Lomachenko fight, who do you think he's gonna fight next? Do you think it's really gonna be Linares? If it is, I'll be happy. I'll give props to Golden Boy and Top Rank for getting it done. But in my opinion, I don't think that's gonna happen next. I think it'll probably be likely Ray Beltran, which is what I've been telling you, and this is what Top Rank has been doing. This is what they've done for Pacquiao's whole career. Name drop Mayweather and Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, and all these big names, Broner and all this shit. And then That's not who Pacquiao's fighting in anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? So, like, listen, I'm gonna keep saying this. Lomachenko's a good fighter, but to stack up to what he's being billed as, I gotta see more than like a Beltran. Like, I didn't have a problem with the Beltran fight until I seen him fight for the title and seen how his performance was. I don't think he looked sensational. So I think coming off of that performance, that's not the type of, like, it used to be in boxing where guys would come off dominant, spectacular wins, and then based on those dominant wins with other opposition, then you would be catapulted into the mega fight. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to give y'all an example. Like, okay, like Daniel Jacobs. He deserved a Golovkin fight. He was a champion. He had knocked out Peter Quillin in one round when he was undefeated, when Quillin was undefeated. Then he had beat Sergio Mora, and then he beat Sergio Mora again. So you look at his last couple performances, okay, he's ready for a Golovkin. He didn't just beat Sergio Mora once, then get Golovkin. You know what I mean? Because that wouldn't have really amounted to as much. You know what I mean? But okay, you beat Quillin, and then you beat Sergio Mora, a crafty guy, and then you stop him twice. Okay, now we understand it. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like how Beltran looked in his last fight, it didn't give me confidence that the Lomachenko fight is gonna be as competitive. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is what Top Rank is great at. It's like they match make, and it benefits the guy that they're really trying to promote. Even the Rigondeaux fight, you fuck what y'all talking about. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Rigondeaux, everybody knew he was smaller, so he's gonna be at that deficit. Everybody knew that aspect of it. You know what I mean? That's why Top Rank, if they really, Lomachenko fought at 126. If they really wanted to, Lomachenko probably could have made it into the 120 somethings, so Rigondeaux didn't have to move from 122 straight to 130, 8 pounds up. They could have met him at some point, but the thing is, they didn't want to give him any leeway. They didn't want to give him a fat paycheck. They didn't want to give him any type of shortcut. Wait, the same thing happened to Amir Khan versus Canelo. I interviewed Amir Khan, and Amir Khan specifically said, hey, we try to get a rehydration clause versus Canelo. We try to get a catch weight like Floyd did when he fought Canelo, like 152, 153. And Golden Boy says, nope. I have the interview. I have the footage. I have everything. And Amir Khan says, nope, we're not giving you anything. You want to fight Canelo, fight at the weight we said, 155, or no fight for you. That's it. So he's like, all right. So he said he just adapted to thinking of like, fine, I'll fight him at this weight. So when I beat him, which didn't happen, but he said when I beat him, there will be no excuses. But he tried to get stuff to work in his favor. So I'm sure Rigondeaux probably and his team did the same thing. So anyway, bottom line with the Lomachenko situation, they're gonna keep doing this and keep saying he's the next Muhammad Ali, but he's not having to really fight the type of fights that would really catapult his brand, big name or small name. You know what I'm saying? For example, I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. Top Rank is listen to me, people. Top Rank is promoting a fight card in March with Jose Ramirez, who fought Lomachenko in the amateurs, and he claims that it's on YouTube. You guys can check it out. He claims a lot of people thought he won the fight when they fought as amateurs. They gave Lomachenko the official victory, but Jose Ramirez claims that it was close, and I didn't watch all of it, so that's why I'm going off of what he said. And he says a lot of people come up to him and say, hey, you beat Lomachenko, right? He's fighting Amir Imam, the master, right? Who's a great fighter, shows a lot of promise or whatever. They're fighting for a title at 140, right? So my thing is this, that's a fight that Top Rank is promoting. And that, Jose Ramirez, I have the screenshot. He says if he gets past Amir Imam, which he's expecting to, he'll rematch Lomachenko from the amateur days at 135. So if he beats Amir Imam, that's a very good win for a title, right? And he already just beat an undefeated Mike, yes, indeed, Reed, right? So those fights would probably prove more than beating Ray Beltran, who's a new champion, but has some losses. You know what I mean? Beating Jorge Linares, a champion with title defenses, that proves more. Beating Mikey Garcia definitely proves more if Lomachenko can do that. So my point being is this: Top Rank, the way they do their matchmaking and the way they build their fighters, Lomachenko is clearly someone they're trying to push. He's late in his career, so you know what I mean, like age-wise, in comparison to like Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. Them guys are a bit younger, especially like Shakur Stevenson and some of the Mick Conlons. Them guys are a lot younger, so they have time to build them up, right? And then when it comes to, like I said, with the Lomachenko situation, he's about to be 30 or whatever. He has a solid resume for so few fights, but everyone, I'm not like, it sounds good, but I'm not like super shocked that it's happening because he's very well experienced. He stayed an amateur so long. If you if you stayed an amateur for at least 8 years and got two Olympic gold medals, then and you have 400 fights damn near. You know what I mean? 400 plus the World Series of Boxing tournament that he was in before he turned pro. Then he's trained. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't. I mean, I expect his career to be on the fast track because he has that much experience, even though it was amateur experience. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I got to see him in fights where guys have some advantage over him. Like even Rigondel's two gold medals, he had that too. So it's not like Rigonel had two gold medals and he had none, and they fought. You know what I mean? So they both carried similar amateur experience. Same thing with Ray Beltran. Terrence Crawford beat him years ago. So if I see Lomachenko move up, I'll give him some credit because he moved up. And if he can beat him, especially if he can make him quit, I don't see Beltran necessarily quitting. But you know, I'll give him some credit. But I can't give you Mikey Garcia credit for Beltran. Mikey Garcia, he has too much momentum to the point where a win over Mikey Garcia means less than a win over Ray Beltran. You know what I mean? Mikey Garcia has, like, he's fought for a title in multiple weight classes. Beltran just became a champion. Mikey Garcia was a champion and a defending champion in 3 weight classes, and he's going for a title in his 4th weight class. So again, I can't give you the same level of praise I would give you for beating Mikey Garcia for beating Beltran, who is a new, not established champion. Ego, my fighter said he not a puncher. They went 3 rounds. Who's not a puncher? I don't get it. Who's not a puncher? I don't get it. Loma? Yeah, I mean, I've heard the same thing. But especially the more you move up, that changes things too. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of why Top Rank is doing it. Like, he's good, he's talented, but once again, I hate having to do this because I see it as a truth, but I hate having to do it just for the simple fact, not that I hate speaking the truth, it's just I know some people aren't going to understand it, and they think, oh, you guys, you're just crying. You're crying. But I notice this. Top Rank and others, when it comes to black fighters, it's to the wolves. Okay, I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about. And we could do a hot seat right now. I dare someone to try to prove. Like, look at Lomachenko. It's like almost as if they feel like Eastern European or white American market or Irish market has more monetary value, and they'll get more support to the point where the black fighters oftentimes are a little bit expendable. Like Terrence Crawford, for example. I'm gonna break it down for you. Terrence Crawford, up until he fought Bradis Prescott, he wasn't really getting no type of shine from Top Rank. But then after he beat Bradis Prescott on 2-week notice, moved up in weight to do that, then okay, you know what I mean, people are liking what they've seen from him. This guy knocked out Amir Khan, and Terrence Crawford had it his way easy with Bradis Prescott. So, you know what I mean, they gave him a couple more opportunities. Then probably about the time where he beat Gamboa, an Olympic gold medalist with power, squirrely, fast hands, power in both hands. You know what I mean? Someone they were calling Baby Tyson, right? Then all of a sudden, that kind of, and then they seen that he can pack some people out in the Omaha Century Link Center or whatever, and then he knocked out Gamboa impressively, 4 knockdowns and knocked him out, right? Then they start giving him some more opportunities, and then he had to work for that, you know what I mean? But he had to fight, in my opinion, Crawford had to fight the type of fights that are the epitome, where you have guys like Abel Sanchez and Golovkin, who it doesn't seem like they want to fight certain guys that are high risk, low reward. Example, Team Triple G has never really been favorable about fighting Demetrius Andrade, Lada, or Charlo. Like, they don't seem like that high on their priority list. It doesn't feel like, oh, what is there to prove? Because again, it's high risk, low reward. Terrence Crawford has fought mad people like that are high risk, low reward if you're not that good. You know what I'm saying? Felix Diaz arguably beat Lamont Peterson, and he's an Olympic gold medalist as well. So there was, you know what I'm saying? Unless you can do what Terrence Crawford can do, then it's not going to be that easy of a night for everybody. You know what I mean? And he doesn't bring a ton of money with the name. So that's one. Victor Postal. Postal is coming off of making Matisse the only person to this day that has stopped Matisse. And he's tall, taller than Crawford. So these are the epitomes of guys who are high risk if you don't fight them right. You know what I mean? Low reward. Same thing, Julius Ndongo. Julius Ndongo don't have the name, but he's bigger than Crawford. He was going to people's backyards, kicking asses and taking names. Right? So you notice that's what I've seen. From what I've seen, that's kind of how Top Rank has done it. Like, Crawford has to just keep fighting these guys, even if they're like high risk, low reward type people, right? And he has to fight those people. Now he's first, and this is what he wants too. First fight in a new weight class, he has to fight a guy who comes in with his head, be headbutting motherfuckers, who has power, who's durable, who's strong at the weight. You know what I mean? Also went to the Olympics, blah blah blah, right? Same thing with Tim Bradley when he was with Top Rank. His second fight at welterweight, not second consecutive fight, he had to fight Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Casa Mayor, Devin Alexander, Lamont Peterson. I mean, these are crazy fights. But then when it comes to Lomachenko, it's like his matchmaking, he's able to fight some good names, but there's also oftentimes things that are favorable in his regard. Like, a guy's smaller and they not willing to budge for a catch weight, or the guy hasn't fought many rounds in the last 2 years, or the guy's older, or the guy doesn't have amateur experience like Jason Sosa. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm not bashing Lomachenko, but the way they're matching him, it's not like his matchmaking is not being thrown to the wolves. Like, to me, fighting the Jose Ramirez Amir Imam winner, to me, is more impressive than Ray Beltran, based on how Beltran looked his last fight. You know what I mean? Fighting Mikey Garcia would be more impressive. Period. And it's like, if they keep matching him like this, then I can't fully put them where they're telling me he should be, because I got to see some more. You know what I'm saying? I got to see some more with all things, because like, here's a perfect example. Mikey Garcia is the perfect example. He's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If Lomachenko moves up to 35 or 40 and fights Mikey Garcia, stating he gets past Sergey Lipinets, there's nothing you could do to take away credit. Mikey is around the same age. Mikey has knockout power. Mikey has a good resume with Broner and guys like Juanma Lopez, Orlando Salido, a guy that Lomachenko lost to, right? There's not much you can do. Ray Beltran, there's some things you could say. Oh, he's a new champion, never once defended his title, never once been a weight class or a champion in any weight class, right? He's known for sparring Pacquiao. And he's a good fighter. He has power. He's tough. But he also lost to Terrence Crawford, Ricky Burns, Sharif Bogaray. I forgot. That might have been a draw. I don't remember what happened. Etc. So that's my point. There's certain guys where you can't take anything away if Lomachenko were to beat him. Like, even Jorge Linares. Who's a more proven guy at lightweight? Jorge Linares, a champion with title defenses. He just fought an Olympic gold medalist and won in the Luke Campbell. You know what I mean? Beltran ain't fought an Olympic gold medalist as a title defense. You know what I mean? Linares beat Anthony Corolla and then came back and beat him more impressively. Linares beat Mercita Hesta, right? Ray Beltran just got a title through a vacancy with no title defenses, so they're gonna feed him to Lomachenko. And if Lomachenko wins, they're see, he moved up and fought a champion at his first. Put it this way. Here's a good question. All things considered, be honest. And if y'all don't be honest, then I might check one of y'all and we'll do a hot seat. Lomachenko and Crawford are in the same position, meaning from the reports, they're in one weight class, moving up to the next division up to fight a champion, most likely. So what's the more difficult fight stylistically and all things considered? Crawford moving up to fight Jeff Horn, or would you say Lomachenko versus Beltran? Who is moving up to fight a more dangerous fight? And I know I'll probably be able to draw a hot seat out with this because this is going to be a good one. Thank you. We're not talking about Linares because I don't think that fight's happening. I said Ray Beltran or Crawford moving up to fight Horn. See, now you see everyone's picking Crawford and Horn. Clearly, moving up from 140, moving up 7 pounds is greater than moving from 130 to 135, 5 pounds. That's one thing, just in terms of pure weight. 2, Ray Beltran has no title defense. Jeff Horn just at least had a title defense. And he went 12 rounds with Pacquiao. So that's that. You have to give him props for at least being durable, because some people did think he beat Pacquiao. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like Crawford, he's not being babied. His first fight, and on top of everything else, stylistically, Jeff Horn is just, he has an ugly, rough ass fight. You know what I mean? Where you can get bloodied and gored and, you know what I mean, hit and head butted and shit like that. So for a boxer, someone who might want to keep things tidy, that could be a problem, especially if you get headbutt, you have a brow cut, stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Ray Beltran, like I said, that he's solid, but I expected a little bit more on his title fight performance. And there's nothing in that performance, unless he looks anew, that gives me confidence that he'll beat Lomachenko. You know what I mean? So I just feel there's other fights out there for Lomachenko that would, if Top Rank really wants to prove his supremacy, then there's other fights out there that would do that. Jose Ramirez, Miramon winner. Jorge Linares, Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? Robert Easter. Because the thing with Beltran is this. If Lomachenko beats Beltran, right? Just listen to me and tell me if you don't agree. If Lomachenko beats Beltran, that'll be cool because he's moving up and it'll be his first fight at the new weight class. But that's not the supreme champion at that weight class. Do you know what I'm saying? So he did the same thing when he fought Rocky Martinez. That's good that you move up to a weight class and then you beat a champion, but that wasn't the guy who was the really like the man to beat type thing, like where he's the best champion, right? I thought Rocky Martinez had lost to Orlando Salido in the rematch and shouldn't have been a champion, and that's not the first time. But that's one thing. But if Lomachenko moves up and fights Ray Beltran, then they're gonna go, oh, see, we told you, Lomachenko is it. But with Ray Beltran having no title defenses, there's no guarantee that he could beat any champion, not just Lomachenko. There's no guarantee that he could beat any top name at lightweight because we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him beat Mikey Garcia. We haven't seen him beat Robert Easter. We haven't seen him beat Jorge Linares. We haven't seen him beat Javier Fortuna. So it's not even just a Lomachenko thing. It's about what you've proven. Same thing with Triple G versus David Lemieux. David Lemieux, people looked at that at one point as Triple G's greatest victory, but he won a vacant title with no title defenses. So there's no guarantee that if he had defended his title, that guys not named Golovkin would have lost to him. Danny Jacobs, I would favor to beat David Lemieux. Billy Joe Saunders did beat David Lemieux. You know what I mean? You look at Lomachenko, fighting Pacquiao. There's not one person that I've seen, like even boxing professionals, that are they're asking people about Pacquiao. Everyone's saying Pacquiao has not looked the same. He's out of prime, and that's someone that they're talking about fighting for Lomachenko fighting. So Regis Prograis, if he beats what's the name, Julius Ndongo, let's say he does it impressively in his step up, will that not be a great candidate for like a Lomachenko, a guy with all that power? Let's say he knocks out Julius Ndongo out violently, right? But they're talking about Lomachenko fighting Pacquiao, who people are agreeing. Now the only reason that I want to see Crawford get the Pacquiao fight, because I'm consistent, is because I think he's due the fight. If he beats Jeff Horn, first of all, Pacquiao, there's so many ways to slice it. Pacquiao should have rematched Jeff Horn. That's what most, like I said, certain champions, when they have a close fight, that's what they have to do. They have to do an immediate rematch. Pacquiao and other people like Lomachenko, he lost to Salido, still ain't never rematched Salido. To this day, Pacquiao can fight and lose to Jeff Horn controversially, and he doesn't have to have an immediate rematch because they know it's dangerous, because no one's trying to lose again. Andre Ward, controversial fight with Kovalev, what does he do? Rematches him right away. Sugar Ray Leonard loses to Roberto Duran, what does he do? Rematch him that same year. You know what I mean? So it's funny how certain fighters have to do immediate rematches to prove. But anyway, Pacquiao, he lost to Jeff Horn. So if Crawford beats Jeff Horn, then he's definitely deserving. Plus, his name has been linked to fight Pacquiao for longer, and Pacquiao's team ducked Crawford. So that's the only reason why I've seen that. That's the only reason why I would want to see Crawford get an opportunity versus Pacquiao, because he's been in line for a Pacquiao fight, and they weren't trying to fight him. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. It's been real. Shout out to y'all. Eagles Army. I need to get some more water. My voice is hoarse from these live streams. Be lit, but just talking nonstop. Crazy. Great live stream. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it, man. I'll be back with some more. I didn't realize how long I've been on here. Yeah, doing all these voices and shit got my voice hard. I need to drink some tea or something. But good luck for everybody. We'll talk more about it's fight week. I'm going to do an Ego Fight Club for Wilder Ortiz. I got to do one for y'all. I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Good fight, man. Excuse me. We didn't get no hot seat. We did earlier. I don't know if you were in here back then. But shout out to y'all, man. I'm about to get out of here and get some tea or something. Peace out.